Ni Hadley hairdo ko ngayon. Oh,
Wala pa, hindi pa.
There you go.
All right, we're good right now. This is episode, ano ba to, Charlie? 25?
25.
25. We are 25 episodes into an eternity of basketball. And thank you for joining us once again on this Friday afternoon. Noel Zarate alongside Sid Ventura. Well, not really alongside. With Sid Ventura and attorney Charlie Cuna. And our guest for today, you know, when you're digging up research on your guest, usually you find something immediately about him, especially if he played in the PBA a long time ago. But when you're doing research on the father of Tex and Fritz Gaston, it's kind of hard. So we have right here on an eternity of basketball, the one and only Coach Matthew Fritz Gaston. Thank you for joining us here, Coach Fritz.
Welcome, Coach.
Hi, thank you. Also, Noel, Sid, and Charlie. Now, thanks for inviting me here. And this is something new, very techy. And thank you. And also for the viewers, you know, it's a welcome sight. I saw ang daming invitation nyo worldwide. So, di ba yung mga zoom in you? So I don't know how that works, but I guess you had invitees to all over the US. So that means if they click that, so mapapanood nila.
Yep. We have thousands of views on the past episodes na rin. But today, Coach Fritz, the focus is on you. So I'll get the ball rolling na ngayon.
Okay,
How
good.
old were you when you started playing basketball, and when did you figure out na you could be actually good at it?
Okay, basketball starting,
Yes.
not in the pro or anything. Actually, grade 6. I was grade 6 at UST. First time I held the basketball, it became natural. I could dribble it, you know, and without any learning, so I could do that. Pero palaro, hindi pa nga ako sumasali sa grade school sa UST noon. Pagdating ko ng high school, UST rin, first year, football. In fact, I was playing football more than basketball, just like Francis. Because I enjoyed football. So siguro yung rin ang naging foundation ko for very strong legs and quick for my height, di ba? And fast.
Tama.
Kasi I was a front, I don't know, open, left ako open sa football. Second year, that's when I started playing kasi mga intrams. So sumali na ako sa UST intramurals namin, no? Mga section. In fact, si Joy was there also, but I didn't know him first year. Classmate kami, pero nagfo-football rin siya. Hindi pa kami nagbabasketball noon.
Joy Cleofas.
Joy Carpio.
Joy Carpio. Okay.
Joy Carpio's a big guy already that time.
Yeah.
High school pa lang, malaki na.
Yeah, he was taller, but not because I was only 5'9", no, 5'8". In fact, when irony was, I was playing center, so fourth year high school, siya was playing forward, and he was like 6 feet, and I was only 5'10". But since I could jump high, so I was, and stronger, so I was like in the center position. Anyways, so second year I started playing sa intrams, and that's where I learned to play on my own lang, kapasali-sali. I learned to dribble and all. Tapos third year nag-try out na sa high school ng UST. Try out sa high school. Ang tryout na nakakatawa kasi paparound robin lang kayo ang Francis Wilson. So right side, left side. Hindi ako marunong mag-layup. Diba? So I would mimic the ones lining up in front of me. Tinitignan ko how they do it, how they're able to lay up. So mahaba naman yung line. So before my turn, I would follow how they would do it para lang maka-lay up ako. So anyway, to fast track, I was able to make it na I was taken in the team by Wilson. Former Eco player dati yung Francis Wilson. Coach of USC High School dati. And but he put me in center position dahil hindi naman ako masyadong magaling lumayap nga at malakas, no? So nasama na agad ako dun sa selection ng UAP selection, high school selection. May mga selection noon eh. 'Di ba si Nadurata? Okay. Si Ruel Nadurata was the coach. So ayun, but still I was playing for center. Center ako all the time. Akalabang pa nun si Barela. Tito was there sa UE naman siya high school. So, and then, yun, I polished my game fourth year. Tapos sabi ni Wilson, dito lang kayo sa UST punta lang akong sa US. Pagbalik ko, we start training sa college. Nainip kami, Joy and I practiced. When we practice, binubugbog kami ng college team. So sabi, punta ako Ateneo, may invitation ako by Dalupan . Through my cousin that time. Sabi, Fritz, pinsan tayo, and my dad is Dalupan. So he's inviting me to go. I went. So yun na yun. Then I joined Ateneo. So doon na na-polish ang game ko. Kasi pag tryout pa lang, pag itandalupan, ano position mo? Sir, ano ako coach? Center. 5'10", 5'11", center. No? Ayaw masabing 5'11". Mga kalaban, ang lalaki. Si Romy, si Santos, kapatid ni Jimmy Santos, was center ng Ateneo at the time, was 6'4". Tapos Conrad Banal, yung brother ng nag-coach na si Banal, di ba? He was 6'3". And then from high school was Maling Estrella, 6'3", center, Joy Carpio. So, sabi niya, hindi ako pwedeng center. So, sabi niya, lumayap ka nga. Pag layap ko, hindi ako makalayap ng maganda. Maybe. He was thinking to put me like a Hubalde type na makaka-slasher, no? Tapos, mag-jump shot ka. Hindi rin ako maka-jump shot. Ganun lang. Ang galing ni Baby. Si Baby, magaling siyang tumingin. So, sabi niya, mag-guard ka. Yun lang, agad, mag-guard ka. Naisip niya siguro, like Bong de la Cruz, big guard, no? So, the whole summer, I learned to play guard. And I would credit si Bongo, the late Bongo, yung di ba, sa basketball na natin siya.
Yeah.
Kaning shake ni Bongo. Magaling siya. He was very stickler on details. So he taught me the rudiments of how to dribble. Said advanced, very advanced. I was a very religious, studious and talagang I absorbed like sponge. So naging guard ako first year summer sa Bacolod. Puro fumble, lifting. May lifting pa tayo noon, ha? Nagli-lifting. So, I learned to, hindi ako marunong sentro. So, but the end of that tournament dun sa NBL, Negros Basketball League, naging polish na ako. Kaya pag first year namin sa Ateneo, during the NCAA, I was a complete guard already na malaki. Oo. Okay. So, but ang pinakaano ko doon, kaya I was used, kasi it's more of my tenacity, which I learned, I remember in high school, championship namin versus UE, sabi sa akin ni Francis, papasok ka lang, maglalaro ka lang pagka mabantayan mo yan si Barela, center eh. Diba? So pagka mabantayan mo yan, nasa loob ka. Hindi ko pinahawakan ng bola because I wanted to play. Talagang I stuck to him like a leech, no? Kaya I was on the court all throughout. So that philosophy of guarding became my in basketball. Kaya even when I coached further on later on, mine was defense. Always philosophy ko, magaling yung kalaban mo, pero pagka scorer siya, ikaw hindi may score. Pero pag you prevent him from scoring 0-0, tabla lang kayo. Diba? So for me, that was my philosophy. Kaya ako, I became kaya lang, in the pros dati, wala namang defensive player dati noon. Diba? You're always an unsung hero. Pero it's parang sarili ko eh. I feel na every time I'm able to stop my opponent, so I feel proud and it's for me it's an achievement, self-achievement for nahinto ko yung kalaban ko.
So coach, you're a bit of a late bloomer as far as playing the guard position nga, as you
yes,
relate to us. No?
Yeah,
so ang galing because considering you were already entering college when you oriented yourself from center to guard, no?
Yeah.
That was tough. Did the guards you were playing against try to exploit the fact na hindi ka pa marunong? Were they talagang taking it to you? Kino-crossover ka ba nila? Were they, kasi hindi ka pa sanay masyado mag-point guard ng mga panahon na yun eh. So, syempre, alam nila yun, di ba? Na hindi ka pa masyadong, di ba?
No. I think, attorney, what you're asking is, I was guarding or they were guarding me?
No, sila. Were they trying to take advantage? Alam kasi nila, di ba? Hindi ka sanay naman sa guard position. So,
oo.
Diba? Sinusubukan ka ba nila? Parang subukan nga natin to, sentro to eh. Bakit, diba? Ba't siya biglang guard ngayon? Diba? Nag-a-adjust ka pa lang.
No. Ang na-experience ko na, meaning, pag binabantayan ako, then they try to, diba? Then they try to intimidate you, maaagawin nila yung bola. Because alam nila, hindi ka marunong magdala ng bola, no?
Right,
so they try to shoot the ball, they try to harass you. Kaya nga, dun ako maraming during the summer training namin sa Bacolod, ang dami kong mga double dribble, mga ganyan, kasi hindi ako marunong no? So, but as we progress, the whole summer, the whole 2 months doon na sumali kami sa NBL, doon na polish ang guard ko. Meaning taking the ball, dribbling, etc. And but in terms of me guarding my opponent, that's where they saw and that's how they appreciate even us. Kasi first year ko pa lang, sinabak na ako kay Limengbeng eh. Championship namin second round. Kasi yan NCAA dati, first round champion and then second round champion, di ba? So first year pa lang namin.
tawag.
Oo, I think, if not I'm mistaken, Jose Rizal won the first round. Second round, we played Lasal for the championship. So ako na agad yung sinabak doon na magbantay kay Lim Engbeng.
Kumusta naman yun, Coach?
Oh, yeah. How was that?
Must have been a humbling experience.
Kasi magaling talaga si Lim Engbeng, pero
Probably-
hindi siya kilala ng mga batang players. So, but you could tell us about him now.
Yeah, he was a senior. He was the king ano siya, Lasal, di ba, player.
King
And
Archer.
in fact, the Hall of Fame yung number niya, retire nila at that time. So he was the shooter. So but when I guarded him, so I think hindi siya nag 50 points, 49 lang. Kaya bawasan
Good job.
naman.
Okay.
Pero
Anyway,
again,
ano,
when you were in Ateneo, yung mga kakampi nyo at that time, halos lahat kayo nagkaroon ng future sa basketball. Tell us about yung mga teammates mo. You mentioned Joy Carpio already. Who were the others on your team that eventually became relevant?
Basically, the ones that went to the pros na time namin si Padim, Israel, di ba?
Right.
Padim was on our second year nung pumasok siya. Joy Carpio, myself, and si Steve Watson. Kaming apat ang the ones that went playing pro from Ateneo. And also in the national team, sa youth, kaming tatlo, Steve, ako, and Joy. And then later on, si Padim joined when he was with us already, tas up course, and he played for the World Basketball naman. Silang tatlo, Joy, Steve, and ano. Sila lang. The rest, wala. They went to normal corporate life or private businesses, but in their own ways, we're all very successful. Magagaling eh.
Yeah.
Magagaling lahat. Si Louis Rapat was there. Si Chito Narvasa was King High School Eagle, di ba? Then the Narvasa brothers. Pons Valdez was there. Kaya we were a powerhouse.
King, nandun din.
How about
Yeah,
Bambi
Bambi was there. I think on the third year or second year. So for 3 years, malakas yung team namin. Nag-back-to-back. And then made Zambeda for the third. That would have been the third consecutive championship since post-war, no?
Uh-huh.
Nasilat kami ng Zambeda. Malakas
Yung
din
closed
sila.
door.
Pero yun yung
Yeah,
magaling,
closed
diba?
door.
Yes, because I guess also that ano was the closed door. Sanay na kami, we were glamour players. Sanay kami naglalaro to the crowd. So pagdating doon, parang practice game lang sa amin. So medyo I think that also affected our game.
Yeah.
Kaya So anyway, yun ang mga eventually turned pro, no. Naglaro yung mga the guys, the names I mentioned.
Yeah. Frankie Lim also talked about that when we interviewed him about the closed door game. He was on the team naman sa kabila, sa San Beda.
Yes,
And,
oo. Naalala ko naman
they
yun.
won.
I was a senior, first year or second year siya. Ano naman siya, very tenacious. Ina-assign siya sa akin. Naiinis naman ako. Sabi, sino itong batang ito na ang lakas magbantay, no? Talagang trying to deny me to death. So, I could see myself in him. Si Frankie, but he was my junior kasi I don't know if it's first year or second year lang siya, fourth year na ako. And then eventually became a very polished guard also, di ba, in the PBA.
Yeah, national team. Coach, what was it like playing under early on under Coach Bibi Telupan?
Unang-una, I guess yung mga difference between then and now, yung mga that time shorts namin, di ba, maiksi, mga picture mga na di ba, parang almost parang mga trunks. Yeah? But under him, it's a he was not very detailed. Hindi siya detalye magbigay. He leaves a lot of room to the players. Tapos to make decisions, pero magaling siyang mag-push ng player. Di ba? Magaling siyang mag-challenge ng player and mag-push ng player. And obviously, he knows how to spot the strength of his players. Match-up siya, match-up coaching. Di ba? Kaya nga siya, I put everything, my career to him by changing me into a guard position. Na mag-guard ka, and I think that's where I was my strength really. Na kasi malaki ako at mabilis. So I sustained it. I could guard small guards or big imports kasi kaya I would be assigned kay Francis is only 5'9", 5'10". Ang bilis, but and yet I could, no? And then many imports that were 6 feet and below, nasusundan ko. And then yung mga 6'3" all the way to 6'5", I could guard them also because of I polished my denying them the ball, preventing them from getting passes and all. taking them out in their comfort zones, yung mga ganyan. I remember even Lumasi, I would guard him. Norman Black, I would guard him the first year niya.
Mhm.
Di ba? First year niya dito, nag-a-adjust pa siya, nababantayan pa. Pero in the later years, unstoppable na siya nung naka-adapt
I'd
sa
like
PBA.
to ask about the NCAA nung panahon niyo. We keep on hearing stories about how intense the rivalries were in the NCAA, especially pag Ateneo, Letran, Lasal, San Beda, pag naglaban-laban yung mga yan. Was it really carnage ba? Talagang fans, they really hated each other?
Yes, yes. In fact, that's why it led to that closure. It led to that kasi dun, one is talagang, and then it carried over to the PBA, kaya nagkaroon ng Toyota and Crispa. At that time kasi, it wasn't very commercial. It was like, oh, this is my team, this is my school, and I'm playing for this school. So, everything else, kalaban nyo na. No? So, it was traditional at that time, pagka malakas yung Lasal, so, yun, kalaban namin ng Lasal. And there was a time nung Letran ng malakas, ng Ateneo, sila naman ang rivals in the basketball. So parang there was that keen rivalry that unfortunately it led to nagiging physical. 'Di ba? Naggugulpihan, nagbabasagan ng kotse, na pagka meron kang andala na kotse at Araneta, may sticker ka ng Ateneo, kalaban mo Letran or Lasal at the time. Or San Beda, sorry. Lasal, medyo wala sila sa picture nung pag-graduate ni Beng. Talagang bugbugan sa labas. And even yung mga cheerleaders and the ones that are very involved, even yung mga fans na fanatics, yung mga from both schools napapalaban na. So, ngayon iba na eh. Ngayon, I think we've become more civilized. Diba? We still maintain
That's a nice word.
in terms of, or matured.
So baka mas stricto na rin yung security ngayon, di ba? So,
even
protect the TV product.
Hindi sinusunod. Wala security. If it's a mob, wala nang magawa. Kaya lang ngayon kasi, ayun nga, we're more civilized na. Oy, we're just audience. Magtabi kayo dito, naka-blue ka, naka-green yung isa, okay lang. Kantsawan. Dati, Rizal may screen para hiwalay. Diba?
Yeah.
They'll try to tear that screen apart dahil nagkakantsawan yung fans, di ba?
Yeah.
That's how intense it was.
Ngayon sa social media na lang nagbabanatan, di ba?
Yes, ganon. Hindi nanonood, parang okay lang, kantsawan. Pagtapos, tapos na. Wala na, very na ngayon, rare yung meron nagkakapikunan pa rin, nagbabalyahan.
Coach, we need to dwell on your Ateneo career a bit more. Kasi when I posted on my Facebook that you were the guest, yung mga Atenista, yung mga nakaibigan ko, yung mga nag-react agad. Because obviously they remember you as one of their own. And because you're one of the part of the glory days in the 70s.
Wearing blue.
So as well as in the 80s. No? So we have to dwell on that. That career, your experiences, of course, your coach, you talked about him already, your teammates. Who did you have chemistry with on the team? Sino yung pinaka-rival mo sa kabilang teams? Nakipagsuntukan ka ba anytime? Mga ganyang kwento. Baka, the fans would love to hear about that.
Ano to, as Ateneo?
Yeah, Ateneo, when you were a player.
Well, within us, maraming lalo na nung first year. Although yung, ito, not very many know, diba, na we were first year namin champion was on our second year. Third year, we were champions. On our fourth year, we're going for our third peat, di ba? So, ang lakas ng team namin. We had kaming 5 na from high school, sabay-sabay, are all superstars. Chito Narvaso is there, and he was a dead shot, no? So, anybody, si Dalupan would have the luxury. Pag linagay niya si Chito, sigurado ka na dyan, no? Meron kang puntos talaga sa kanya. Di ba? So, pag sinasabay kami. And then, all the others ones, like, Rabat, who was younger, ang lakas rin niya. He was just probably like his dad. Remember his dad, no? Si Raja of Rebound. Yeah, si di ba? Frankie, his dad. So he's just as bull strong as him, no? And so many, Pons Valdez, si Maling, Estrella. On the third kasi namin, yan na, sila Bambi pumasok na. Nawala na yung mga una na sila Jerry Borsosa, si Chito Mistades, Conrad Banal, wala na yung batch nilang yon because they were much older when we came in. So, kasi they were not superstars, but when we came in, na from 5, biglang lumakas ang team. Yung aming first year. Kasi they were from high school champions eh. Pons Valdez, Maling Estrella, Chito Narvasa. So in other words, I think ang analysis ko dyan, what happens is Ateneo lumalakas. If it's internal, the recruitment is from the internal. Yung mga grade school nanonood ng college, ang gagaling yan, ha? So as they grow, then they aspire to be the players. Kasi nakita ko yun, yung mga players ko when I was playing, 10 years below sila. Yung batch naman ng player ko na I handled, nag-back-to-back champion, di ba? Sila Francisco, Eric Reyes, Jun Reyes, Olsen Rosella. So, and they're all high school ng Ateneo.
Tama.
So, you've got to be a product of Ateneo, and kasi you will survive also the education. So, yung amin yon, it was an aberration because tatlo from Ateneo, kami naman ni Joy were from UST, but we had the champion mentality. Iba yung you had experience championship, no? So, iba yung dala mo. So when we came in, parang lumakas na agad. Imagine first year namin lumaban na kami sa championship sa second round. Ang problema noon at that time, marami kami mga internal na mga challenges. Like I think when we played Lasal, si Dalupan hindi na nag-coach. Kasi at that time 75 PBA. 'Di ba? Bawal mag-coach ang PBA coach.
Right.
So parang na-hold siya, I think something like that. So hindi siya nag-coach. And if it's not that, 2 players namin, one was his son, si Toy, and the other is Conrad Banal, didn't make the QPI. Yung aming average, sa atin namin, average. If you miss that, hindi ka makakalaro.
Right.
So those were the internal struggles. Kaya si Dalupan did not coach the championship against Lasal. So we ended up with just ourselves, and yung pari namin si Padre Unson ang nag-coach. So you can imagine if you don't have your head coach. So medyo and that added to our at that time, kaya I would say medyo hindi kami nanalo, and Lasal went on. Siguro looking back, if you had Dalupan there, iba ang kwento doon. And then the following year, naka-coach siya. So, back-to-back kami champion. On the 4th year, pinawalan na naman siya nung 78 mag-coach. If you're a head coach ng PBA, hindi ka pwedeng mag-coach. So, ganun na naman ang nangyari. Hindi na naman siya nag-coach on our 3rd try for the championship. So, ang nag-coach sa amin nun was his assistant trainer, si Bongo. Yung sinabi ko nga, And talking about the late Bongo, actually, Ateneo de Davao coach yan. So, and bata, he was young, 26. So, very, very meticulous. He's a John Wooden philosophy.
Disciple.
And disciple siya ni John Wooden. So, kanyang mental, was John Wooden. Kinuha yan actually ni Danding. Si Danding ang nakakita dyan. Kinuha for Lasal. Biglang umangalan Lasal. Sabi ng Lasal community, ba't kukunin? Hindi naman Lasali sa Ateneo yan. So in short, Danding was pressured. Hindi niya kinuha. Kinuha agad ni Dalupan.
Yeah.
So, yan. So, training-wise, ipababayaan niya kay Bongo tsaka kay De Malanta, our other trainer, no? Yun si Dalupan, ganun na kanyang style. Siya nakaupo lang. Training, kung bahala ng training. Pagdating ng cerebral, pagdating ng coaching sa scrimmages, ako na. So again, maraming hindi alam, trivia. Habang nag-drills kami, siya tumitingin ng dividendaso for karera. Hilig na karera eh. Dalupan. So yun ang joke namin. Is the only coach that doesn't care the training. No? Kayo mag-training dyan, ako dito lang ako. So after 1 hour, 30 to 1 hour of training, pagtapos na, coach, tapos na. Then he comes in. Scrimmage, siya na maghahati ng team. Ito, white, blue. Ganun ang kanya. Tapos yan, scrimmage. So kami noon, 2 lang ang plays. It was only 1 and 2. Wala nang iba, 1 and 2. Everything else is uwido. Uwido na lang.
Ito sinabi ni Atoy ko, di ba?
Yun din.
Ayun sila sa Crispa, di ba?
Crispa, ganun din. Ganun na ganun ang kanya. Sila Atoy, kasi ayaw si play for Crispa Liton. Walang play yan. Tuturuan lang kayo ng isang play niyan. The rest, mag-amuyan na lang kayo. Yung ganyan. Kaya, that's exactly what happened between me and Boggs when we were in UTEX nung kinuha namin si Boggs. magtitinginan lang kami, alam na niya kung anong gagawin ko, alam na niya kung saan siya pupunta, saan ko ipapasa. Kaya ayun, nag-MVP siya dun that time, no, sa ano. But anyways, so yun ang sa Ateneo namin. We have no problem. Second championship, first, second championship namin. We were the champion team, and in fact, ang aming hinahabol noon was straight, no losses sa third year namin. But again, circumstances were in first round pa lang namin, panalo lahat ng first 5 games namin. Just before we played San Beda ba yun? Yeah, for the first round, we left for the national team.
Mhm.
Ako, Carpio, at si Steve Watson. Tatlo. Ang laking pilay sa amin yon. Kasi either 2 of us or 3 of us are in the first 5. We have a solid guard. You have a solid forward shooter in Steve. You have another solid center forward in Joy Carpio. He plays center and forward at the same time. So pag tatlo kami nandyan si Maling, plays center, nandyan si Chito, may other guard, or si Pons. So ang lakas ng team namin. But yung at least first 8, no?
Yeah.
But a week before we played San Beda, out kami tatlo. So we went and played in Singapore. Sa kanila naman, si Chuck Barrero lang nawala. Siya lang yung nasa youth team eh. So yun, napilay talaga kami. And they obviously, we could not sustain the game. No, when we played San Beda, natalo sila. So anyway, pagbalik namin for the second round, kasi last game yun eh, we were both 5 wins. So, pagdating namin sa second round, meron ng internal na kami, yung mga challenges wherein sabi, pagdating doon sa dugout. Meron na tayong after our loss, nagkaroon tayo ng bull session, sabi, and we agreed that if you do not practice the day before a game, hindi ka maglalaro. So then you don't get to play kasi yun ang naging rule, diba? So ayaw ngayon nila, maglaro kami tatlo.
Galing kay national team.
Kasi nakakadating lang namin that day eh. So yung mga other teammates, mga kasama namin, sabi, may rules tayong ganyan. Coach Bong, so paano yan? Hindi pwede maglaro ngayon yung tatlo. Sabi ko, parang naman yan, parang out of this world ka. How can we practice, di ba? And then we never had this kind of feeling. How can we even practice? We only arrived today. Practice kayo kahapon and we're playing, so yun. So yun na nagsimula. So from that until we played San Beda, meron na kaming parang may mga internal na struggle na gano'n. It wasn't the same anymore nung first round na parang wala. We went through the breeze until we lost that first game, no? Kaya imagine in the dugout, ang discussion ninyo, huwag naman, palaruin nyo, di ba? We're playing against Trinity yata, So sino sa atin tatlo, at least isa na lang ang wag na maglalaro, I was telling them. Di ba para namang masunod yan, pero let's have a compromise kasi kailangan nyo pa rin kami. We're still part of the team. So I think that game, nag-agree na, ako na lang sabi, hindi maglalaro. Ang dami nating guard, magagaling talaga eh. Di ba? We have Chito, we have Pons, we have Pons slides to forward and guard. Magaling. I think OG was there, the 2 Narvasas eh. Or 3. Ray Boy. In fact, kung nag-champion kami noon, that would have been the only Ateneo team that had 3 Narvasas in the team. If I remember, kasama si Ray Boy, OG, at si Chito. At magagaling, ha? They're all high school superstars. So anyways, so yun ang nangyari. That game, di ako naglaro. Tapos second game, laro na ako. So meron naman mga players na hindi na nakalaro. Diba? Naglaro ako. So there was that, although hindi linalabas amongst us, ang tinamaan dun yung coach. That's where nakita ngayon that obviously Bongo did not have the status and stature of a dalupan. When there was crisis, di ba? Internal crisis lalo na. So the pressure was too much but we still reached the championship. Yun, kami doon. Tapos in the championship pa, the last game, yung before we played the closed door, yung president namin at that time nag-meet with the team, tapos sinabi, this will be our last game in the NCAA. In-announce niya.
Oo
It
nga
was
pala.
the day before the championship to in-announce, we will not, because itong mga gulong-gulong ganyan, after this championship, we will move out of the NCAA. Sabi yung ganon. And guess what? When I was looking around, kita mo yung mga mukha nung mga true blue from grade school, high school, college na Atenista, na players at teammates ko, all they knew was NCAA. Nothing else. UAP at the time, wala. Makita mo yung mukha nila, talagang bagsak lahat. Sabi parang, shit, why are we... Naalala ko yun eh. Some may problems. Hindi nangyari, pero okay, I really remember that because when the priest said that, sabi ko, wow, shucks. What a timing to announce
Yun na
that.
nga.
Oo naman, oo.
Diba?
Pwede namang sabihin after the game, di ba? I mean,
Yes, should have been after. Diba? Tapos siguro, ayaw niyang mangyari na pag natalo, sorry, paalis tayo, di ba? Pag nanalo, baka biglang sabihin, huwag na tayong umalis. Decided na yung mga Ateneo priest na aalis na eh. Kasi because of the previous 2 games, di ba? Binabato, kahit na nagsasalita si Father Cruz in front of the crowd, binabato siya ng mga itlog, mga tornilyo, anything. Kaya lahat nagpapayong, even players. So, that affected our game also. Definitely, I could see that. Kasi parang, what are we playing for? Diba? We know we're not going to be in the NCAA anymore. And what league are we going to join? UAP? At that time, what was UAP? Kami, nung nasa UAP, walang nanunood eh. Kami lang naglalaro nung high school, even yung college teams that time. So it was only when Ateneo and then later on LaSalle came in, nagbaliktad, nagflip. Or UAP really went up, di ba? In popularity. Tapos medyo nagganon na ang NCAA. No? Even until now, it's still now the Premier League is the UAP. Because of I guess, the team composition, nandiyan na yung mga rivals na Ateneo and LaSalle. That helped, I think. So
that was your last year na, di ba? So you lost to San Beda. So anyway,
Yes.
you were moving out anyway, no matter what, di ba? Kasi patapos ka na. So what was really in your plans? Was it to play in the Mikaa already? What was next for you, basketball wise, when you were leaving Ateneo?
When I was, ang akin at the time was really, I was with the national team. Diba? So ang thinking ko lang doon, parang I wasn't even thinking na I'm going to go to the pro, but I knew it was going to be there. But mine was more like playing in the youth and then looking forward to playing in the world basketball. Kasi the world basketball was in 78, no? But at that time, I had my knee problem. I had my meniscal problems.
Okay.
So at that time, very primitive pa yung ating sport, ang ating So I was a victim of very primitive na sports medicine. And so with some other players, maraming mga ganon. Si Rudy Soriano was one. Short-lived rin siya dahil na-operahan din siya. And I know because nagsasama kami sa therapy noon. Mamaya, nung problema nagte-therapy ka, ba't ganyan yung tuhod mo? There was something wrong after an operation. Anyways, in my case, sabi ko, I'll go to the States. Because I want to show my knee to a good doctor. Ang Rivera doctor ko dito. Refer niya pa ako sa New York Knicks doctor, yung kila Walt Frazier. Right for Dr. I still remember his name bringing a letter of recommendation from Dr. Rivera. Kilala niya, classmate niya. Pagdating ko sa New York, punta ako sa hospital where he was, or clinic. Can I have a appointment with the doctor? Ito sabi niya, I'm sorry, he's busy with the New York Knicks, and so he can't see you in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Sabi ko, I'm only here for a week. If you want an assistant can look at you and all that. Sabi, hindi yung doktor mismo ang aking pupuntahan siya. So, in other words, hindi nakita yung tuhod ko. So, because of that, I decided, sabi ko, hindi naman ako makakalaro with my knee na ganito, na hindi mo alam, pag naglalak kasi yun mamamaga, that's, I mean, a term, no? Layman's term. Hindi ka ngayon pag-lock yan, mamamaga, hindi ka makagalaw for 1 or 2 or 3 days, depending, no? Kasi it would lock kasi there's something wrong with meniscus. Ngayon, tatanggalin lang nila yan, di ba? They do microsurgery, whatever that floating body, even tiny dot in your knee, they would just pull that out, clean it out, okay ka na naman. Dati wala. When you open your knee, major operation yon. So, anyways, I decided to skip the world basketball and stayed in the States. Kaya na-miss ko yung world. So I told Puyat and Mayoralgo, I don't think I'd like to be part of the team with my knee, with my problem.
That was
So
the
I
year
stayed.
also that the Philippines hosted the World
Yes,
Championship.
that's right. Kaya qualified agad tayo, di ba?
Mhm.
So we qualified. But anyway, I didn't join. I stayed in the States. But after 1 year in the States, sabi ko sa friend ko, no, I don't think I'm ready to migrate and stay in the States. Kasi ready na rin ako doon na I could have gone and, diba, sponsor ako, then start working at the United Nations. Sabi ko, I think I'd like to try out the PBA. I'd like to see if I can play in the PBA. So I came back.
Mhm.
So when I came back, again, I saw Rivera. Sabi ko, Doc, before I play, I need to have my knee fixed. Oh, let's fix that. So anyway, wala na yung details ng kanya. He fixed it. So sabi ko, Doc, ikaw ang nag-ayos ng tuhod ko, so where do you want me to play? Yun. So sabi niya, Eco. Eco and yun, Eco. So when I went, I don't think I like the coaching staff of Eco at that time. Sabi ko,
Sino ba yun, nung time na yun?
wag mo na, hindi ko na maalala kung sino. Parang for me, it wasn't the, I just felt hindi, even the vibes, no? So
hindi bagay. Parang hindi bagay sa'yo.
Parang hindi bagay. So, tama. Then I went back to Rivera. So, I don't think bagay ako dyan sa Eco. So anong team next? Punta ka kay Tommy Manotok, UTEX. Tommy was the coach. So I went to see you, Tommy. Tinignan lang, galing kay Rivera, Parangka. Yeah. Pinalay up lang niya ako, pinatalon niya ako. Pag sabi niya, you go talk to the owner, manager already, you're in the team. So, yun na yun, ganun lang. So, that's how I started in the PBA.
But dun sa batch nyo from that Ateneo, all those stars who eventually made it to the PBA, you were the first one to go to the PBA, di ba?
That's correct. I was ahead of them kasi when I came back, when I left kasi the Ateneo, the whole college team namin was with the Mika. Yung PBL, Mika ng Crispa.
Right.
At that time, there was a transition pa. From Mika, naging PBL. So I think Mika pa kami, umabot kami.
Yeah.
Kasi I remember playing pa nung national seniors natin. We were Ateneo. And then we were playing Crispa and Concepcion and other teams na commercial. Open Open national seniors, any team. Wala pang PBA noon, 74. So nakakalaban namin noon yung, tinalo pa nga namin yung Concepcion That's how strong our team was in 75. Pero nung Crispa kalaban namin, Baby was coaching Crispa. So kami would be si Bongo. So when I left, tuloy sila sa Mika team ng Crispa. Kasi I was part of that team, but I left, so I begged off. So pagbalik dito, nandun pa rin sila. Hindi pa, nasa amateur pa rin. Si Padim was in Upcore, hindi naman nag-PBA pa yung Upcore that time, no?
Yeah.
Si Joy, I don't know where he was at that time. Chris pa. Joy and Steve were in,
yes.
yeah, Mika or PBL. So ako yung unang nag-PBA. So the following year, sumunod na si Joy at si Padim and Steve.
Yeah.
Ganun
At this
yun.
point, Coach Fritz, we're going to, Sid is going to show you some pictures that we've dug up kasi nag-comment sa akin, nag-send sa akin ng message si Coach Fritz. Saan mo nahanap yung mga picture na yan? Sabi ko, there's more where that came from. So
Wala.
Sid has a bunch of them now.
Ganon?
We'll show them to you. Tingnan natin kung maalala mo yung mga pangyayari during these snapshots.
Okay, here's the first
Oh
one.
my God. Oh, yan. First year
So-
na yan.
No, oh my God, kaagad.
That's our first year. You know what? Joy was 16. I was 17. That time, first year.
I would never have guessed na si Joy Carpio yung katabi mo dyan. Now that you say it.
Talaga? I figured out kaagad.
Nakita ko kaagad, Joy Carpio. Hindi ko nakilala yung
bagay.
Fritz Gaston. Yung Fritz Gaston, yung hindi ko nakilala.
Paano? Nung first year, talagang we are supposed to attend ROTC, di ba? Ang amin, Air ROTC. And nagpagupit ako ng crew cut, parang pang-military. Pagkita sa akin doon, nung mag-sign up kami, instead na kumatok sa pinto, sinipa ko yung pinto So nabulaga yung the commander that would take our who are you? I'm Fritz Gaston. Do you want to be an officer? We'll put you in the cadet officer. Kasi parang ang lakas ng dating ko. Sabi ko, I'm sorry sir, I cannot. I'm with the varsity team. Yun. So kaya yan ang hair ko. True yan.
Diba?
It's another one. I don't know what year this is, pero
Let's see.
Laki mo, Sid.
Papalaki ko ba?
Can you blow it up a bit?
Oh, yan. Yan ang, that's our champion team.
That's
The following
Steve
year
Watson.
yan. Yep, that's the second year na kasi nandiyan na si Lou Rabat eh. Steve is there already.
Yeah.
So, Steve came in when we were on our second year, fourth year high school siya. Pinalaro na siya sa college. So at that time, pwede. You cannot go down, but you can go up. No? So
Oo
fourth
nga.
year siya pinalaro na.
That's right.
Sa ilalim
Yung
sa Loyola
marami
Center ito,
nagtatanong
ano?
eh.
Sa Loyola Center ito, no, Coach? No?
Yes, yeah. Doon,
yan.
Sa Blue Eagle Gym yan. Blue Eagle Gym.
Loyola Center pa noon.
Oh, Loyola Center pa nun.
Oo, yan. So sa likod ni Steve is Jerry Versosa. He was a captain.
Jerry Versosa.
Nakaisang
Si
championship
Padim,
yan.
sa kanan. Si Padim yan, di ba? On the
Ito
right
nasa
side.
baba. No,
Yeah,
yan. Yung tinutulong, yan, that's Padim. That's Padim. Oh. Siya naman, nakuha siya, hindi nag-try out yan. Kasi sabi na, may magaling na Cebuano dyan sa covered courts, naglalaro. Patawag. Pinatawag si Padim. Hindi wanna try out. Sa kanya, baliwala, di ba? So he was the one called to be part of the team. Ano? Itong katabi niya, si Richard Lacson. He became a doctor but died, no? So,
Nasa
Coach,
kaliwa.
unheard of na
katabi
ngayon
niya,
yung...
ano, no?
Okay. Unheard of na ngayon yung high school player na lalaro sa seniors level.
Yes,
Ano?
unheard
Was
of
Steve
na.
Watson that good talaga?
Well, one, he was big and he was unstoppable and he was a scoring, di ba? Machine. So, which he brought that with him pagdating ng college at first year. Bigyan mo ng bola, ang pulso niya malakas na. So, wala pang 3-pointer noon. Eh, yung range niya was 3 points. Siya and Chito Narvasa were dead shots. No? They were shooting, they can shoot the lights off in their high school.
Someone pointed out sa Facebook comments, no, that for San Beda naman, yung naglaro rin ng college na fourth year high school pa lang, si Chuck Barrero at saka si JB Yango, pinaglaro na raw sa college. I don't know, how true that is.
Okay.
Comment
But I don't know if si JB was from San Beda. So I don't know if he's a San Beda from high school to college. Baka recruit yan, no?
Okay.
And then,
just checking, yan.
Yeah,
Nakalagay, may nag-comment.
Baka pinaglaro siya from high school pa lang, naglaro na. So, but he was from another school. So I don't know yung rules nila that time. Baka pwedeng mag-protest ngayon at sabihin hindi dapat sila panalo.
Oo nga. Ganda ng mga kwelyo. Kita niyo yung mga kwelyo ng mga warm-up shirts, ha? Ganda ng kwelyo.
Parang pwedeng landingan ng aeroplano eh. Yung kwelyo no, di ba?
Pero at that time, akala nila ang ganda ng mga forma nila. Kasi varsity sila, champion pa sila, di ba?
At saka yung jacket na ganyan, hindi ka pa gumagalaw, warmed up ka na, pawis ka na, dalang kakapal eh. Hindi kagaya ngayon, di ba? Meron sila mga dry fit, mga gagaampan na talagang, you hardly sweat. Your sweat goes out. Ito hindi, iipunin eh. Mamaya parang tuwalya. May tuwalya pa sa loob yan. Diba? Ang line tuwalya.
Coach Fritz, tama ba ako? The guy at the back, the white t-shirt, to left side, si Bongo ba yan?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
Batang-bata.
Remember him
He
from
was
the
only
greatest days.
25, 26 lang siya. So,
The original Bongo.
yeah. Oo.
Naging coach din ng Presto, no?
Presto.
Yeah.
Davao. At ako yung nasa taas na taas. Mo ang haba ng buhok.
Okay.
ko.
Sige ba?
Yan, yan.
Okay, balik tayo.
Yan. Kitang ba yung
enlarge mo ulit.
yung pinaka nasa likod center?
Yeah.
Itong
Okay.
that's me.
Okay.
The middle, right in the middle.
Yan.
Right there.
Next
Yung
to
parang
the-
mahaba yung buhok sa left side.
Mahaba na.
Oo.
Uso na yan eh. Uso na yung mahabang buhok no.
Sino yung mga katabi niyo dyan, Coach Fritz?
Yan, sa left ko, that's Pons Valdez. Yan. Ito naman sa right, si Joey Pengson, anak ni Pinggoy.
Anak ni Pinggoy, okay.
Yeah. He also died recently, 2-3 years ago or 4.
Okay.
Ganyan lang. Sa heart attack. No, 2 years. We were playing alumni namin. Every Sunday we would have that. And then he just collapsed. Parang si Bong Tan. Ganun nangyari. So siya na manager namin, si Bok Villamor. Nandun sa tabi ni yan naman ang the ones that help quiet lang na talagang tumutulong sa team. Mga problema, he's a businessman.
So
Sa
the
baba.
75 team ba to? The 76 team?
75. This was the
75.
first championship.
Okay.
Yes, next photo tayo.
Yeah. Yan si
The next one, team photo rin yung next eh.
Sige, which one?
Okay. This is RP Youth.
Youth naman yan. So, dyan sa youth.
Yun.
Yan, yun. Sino yung
Wala,
mga yan? Let's see.
Yan, oo.
Large naman ng content. Di ko ma-identify yung iba.
Yan. Dito sa left, si Nat Castillo.
Yeah. Okay.
Nag-eco eventually sa left si Renato Lobo yung next to
Ito.
him.
Ito.
Ito. He's in Chicago. We're in touch with him, no? Tapos next to him, that would be si Alex Clarino.
Okay.
Okay. Oo.
That's Alex, no? And then, kaya mukhang
Jimmy.
malaki yan. Nag-tipto yan eh. Si Alex, ganyan yan. Parang mukhang malaki, nag-tipto. Diba? Kaya,
Jimmy Manansala.
Oo. And then, ito si Steve. And then, Manansala, Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yan. Tapos kay Jimmy, si Joy. Carpio.
Joy. And then,
Joy. Rudy Lalota.
Rudy Lalota.
Yung Lalota, sabi ko na nga ba, familiar eh.
Okay.
Yeah, Manila
Rudy Lalota. Okay.
Medyo may laman pa
I
siya
don't know
dyan.
what college.
Then sa
That's
baba, si
Chuck.
Chuck. That's Chuck, yeah.
Oo.
Chuck Barrero.
Ito si Mariano. Anong family name ni Mariano? I forget his name now. Guard na maliit. Manila Bank din naglaro yan eh. I'll get his name later in my, because he's in the States now eh. Yan.
Okay. And then that's
Mariano.
you.
That's me. And then this one is Benji Paras. Benji. Sino nga Benji Paras?
Benji Cleopas.
No.
Benji, no, sorry. Benji, who's?
Again, I can't remember. Poblete. Benji Poblete.
Benji Poblete. Then Mama.
Yes. Laro sa Honda.
Oo.
Mama.
Si Mamaril. But
Maril.
eventually, and then Anthony Dasala also died, no?
Ayan.
Pero, but si Mamaril hindi nasama. Nag-pro na
May
siya.
nagsabi na kung sino. Ricky Mariano.
Mariano, yes. Ricky.
Mariano.
Tama.
Oh.
That's correct.
One of our mga nanonood palagi sa amin si Tony Valenzuela. He always provides us with the names of the people in the team.
Yeah.
So,
Even Jay Mercado just said Ricky Mariano nga. Definitely 1980
Yeah, that's Ricky. Tama. Mariano, family name niya pala yun. Oo.
I remember, yeah. Definitely.
Magaling yan. Slasher is a forward. Maliit na forward, malaking katawan.
Lalota, no?
Rudy Lalota.
I hadn't seen
May
Rudy
laman pa
Lalota in
na
a
siya
long
dyan
time.
eh. May laman pa siya dyan eh.
Oo.
Nag-PBA yan, pat-pat talaga siya eh.
And then someone commented that you and Clarino were the enforcers of this team daw. Kayong dalawa.
Actually, si Clarino ang enforcer. Ako, I was just
Talagang enforcer yun. Talagang enforcer yun.
Pati kuya niya, ganun din.
siya talagang maninira. Ako was just physical. I would be physical with my pero siya talagang iinisin ang kalaban. Iinisin
Sila
niya.
Lota rin at saka si Lobo, namimigay din yung mga yan, di ba?
Yes. Mga rin sila, mang-iinis din yan sila.
Ganda ng picture. Galing ng picture.
Yeah,
Ganda
galing
ng
nga eh.
picture.
Yeah,
Sige.
I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that. No.
We can send that to you
Zoom
later.
out lang. Tingnan
Ito
ko lang
naman.
yung headline.
Itong team na to.
team.
Yes,
Yeah,
coach.
when we played the championship in Kuwait, kasi previous to this team, 5 youth teams walang talo. Puro panalo. Lahat. So nung amin, first time sumali ang China.
Sino coach nito?
So, first
Coach
championship.
Fritz.
Mayoralgo and Tembong, Melencio, the late Tembong.
Oo.
Sila. So they were all there with us, pati si Puyat, head ng BAP noon. So we were
Ito,
playing in Kuwait, no? First time namin kinalaban ng China in the championship. And ang lalaki na ng China noon. So first half, lamang sila ng 9 points. Pagdating ng second half, nag-fast break, mabilis kaming game, binilisan namin, naka-shot yata si Jimmy Manansala, intercept
Yan ang kamador.
Tapos nag-tie. In the first 2-3 minutes pa lang, nag-tie na yung game. Di kita na ngayon yun. Binugbog namin sila. Meaning, kasi, nasana, it also helped we trained abroad, no? Many games that we played against men's tournament. We were the youth team na sinasalihan namin sa Malaysia, Singapore, were open tournaments. Kaya lumakas kami kasi mga mama yung kalaban namin eh. So pagdating ng China, kalaban namin mga bata. Kita mo mga payat, ganyan. Pagdating sa bugbugan sa court. So medyo na-intimidate sila. Tsaka at that time, sabi ko, hindi mo nanalo, naka-elpo pa yan sila, naka-elpo. Mga China shoes nila na... And then, when I was interviewed after the championship, sabi niya, what do you think? Sabi ko, alam mo, na-chambahan lang namin sila because one is, we were together na for the long time because na-postpone yung tournament eh. instead of 77, ginawang 78. Kasi Kuwait nag-beg to postpone 1 year kasi they were not prepared.
Right.
Kaya nagsunod-sunod yon. After 78, the next was 79 na agad. Or tama, ganoon. Kasi dapat every 2 years nag-alternate.
Di ba, Coach, there was an issue, something about yung mga age ng ibang player dahil nga na-postpone yung tournament. Yung edad ng iba parang naging overage na yung iba. Parang may ganun eh. Diba?
I was I don't know with the others if they were from the start overage, no? Pero ang amin, kaya maraming hindi nakasama that were qualified sa team kasi they were already 19, I think. Some of our teammates, no? Si Chito was older, si Padim, si Pons. So hindi nila nasama sa cut-off but they would have been invited to the tryouts.
Naurong lang kasi ng 1 year kaya nangyari yun.
Oo, nung naurong, ako ngayon naging overage din.
Okay.
So I submitted my resignation. I told Puyat na, I'm already overage. Sabi niya, hindi, pero in terms of tournament dapat, should have been last year, qualified ka. So then they cleared that with the basketball ABC. They cleared it with ABC and Kuwait. Sabi, no, it's okay because as per yung year na yun, pwede siya. So I stayed on.
Okay.
I was the first one that said I'm overage, sabi ko kay Mayoralgo.
Yeah, okay. Kasi baka ma-disqualify tayo di ba? Pagkasakaling hindi
Ito yung namimigay.
Yan, oo. Well, typical Cebuano, magaling. At magaling si Late Tuadles was one guy that was, for me, I'd say mahirap bantayan, no? I found him difficult to guard. Championship namin, siya yung binantayan ko eh.
Right. We will talk about that. We'll talk about that.
Wag na pag-usapan yan. Wag na pag-usapan yan.
Wait, Toyota fan tayo lahat. Ano ba? Kailangan natin daanan. Toyota fan nga tayo lahat eh.
Pero kita mo yung...
Umiyak ako nun eh.
Pero tignan nyo, Sid, tignan mo, Tony, yung jump shot na yan, hindi naman niya sinushoot yan. Kita mo yung elbow niya.
Oo nga.
Oo, kaya nga namimigay eh.
Tinamaan na ako niyan, kaya medyo napalayo yung mukha ko niyan.
But I was about to say, the fact na assign ka kay Arnie Tuadles means magaling ka dumipensa. Kasi hindi ka ilalagay kay Tuadles kung hindi ka magaling dumipensa. Ang galing ni Arnie kasi sa offense.
Saka magkabatch sila sa PBA. Sabay kayo pumasok ng PBA in 79.
Yes.
Yeah, he was Rookie of the Year.
Critical 5 agad.
Unfortunately, at that time, ang ruling nila was all number of games. Kaya ang mga naglalaban for Rookie of the Year that time, mostly nasa team ng Toyota. Yes, ang karamihan. Tapos later on, kung sino yung umabot all the way to the championship, the third conference, kasi marami silang points. Nung kami,
walang cut-off.
Magkalapit lang kami ni Arnie all throughout. Pagdating ng third conference, na-out kami. So, sa third conference, maaga kaming na-out, nawalan na ako ng points kasi hindi na nasama eh. Kaya, tuloy-tuloy yung kanya. Although I would say, he probably would really have won that, no? Kahit in the end. Pero, di ba, yun ang noon eh.
Okay.
So, ngayon, binago na. Ngayon, merong MVP, merong Rookie of the Year sa regulation or hindi na sinasama.
May cut-off na ngayon. Pag playoffs, may cut-off na.
Yes. Ngayon, ganun. Oo. Dati, lahat ng games. So, pag hindi ka nasama, tagilid ka na. Anyway. Tama ka, sabay kami. So,
Yeah, saka noon it was after the season bago ina-awardan eh. As in tatapusin nila yung season eh. Ngayon kasi it's like the game 4 of
before
the finals.
That's
Ngayon,
right.
talagang they wait for the season to finish noon.
That's right.
Kasi,
Ngayon, tama, ngayon commercial na eh, di ba? Parang they already compute, calculate.
May botohan na ngayon.
Yeah, may botohan. It's not just statistics.
Coach, may significance ba yung number 22 as your jersey number?
Actually, well, it became significant kasi I became popular doon with that number, no? But actually, what made me popular when they say, ang galing mo, hindi, kaya ako naging popular dahil yan, yung picture na pinapakita nyo. Kasi, assign ako sa kanya,
right.
Senator. So, sumikat ako. Sa Ballin, imagine, it would be an honor, babantayan mo siya, di ba? At that time, this picture, I was 20 years old, he was 31. Can you imagine? He was at the prime of his game, 31, I was like on my second year, di ba? I was 21 years old. Oh no, third. Tama. Kung 1980 to, second year ko. 19 ako, pumasok or 20. See? So, Yan ang ano doon.
Oh, you have to tell us about
Gano'ng
that.
kahirap yan?
Tell us about the matchup with Jaworski.
Oh,
How
gano'ng
was it?
kahirap? Balikan natin, Sid. Gano'ng kahirap bantayan yan?
Si Jowo, unang masasaktan ka. Kita mo naman ang laki niya, di ba? Kita mo laki, halos doble siya. So, mabigat. Mabigat yan. So, pagka dinideny mo yan, pagka medyo i-chop niya yung kamay mo na nagde-deny, masasaktan ka. If you are not physically fit. Di ba? And when that happens, maramdaman mo, matatakot ka. Ayaw mo na, hindi ko na ilalagay ang kamay ko dyan dahil masasaktan ulit ako. That's basically how difficult he was to guard. But the key is, so I don't know if he will be listening, pero pag nalaman naman niyang lalabang ka at hindi ka kahit nabugbugin ka niya, nandiyan ka pa rin, you will still be tenacious, hindi ka you will not show fear, then he will respect you.
Right.
Then
Yeah,
he will,
that's what the other said also.
Yeah, that's what the other guests said.
Yeah.
yes.
The
Once
fourth
he respects your ability to guard him, then he becomes cautious.
Mhm.
Then he cannot just play around anymore. So medyo mahihirapan na rin siya.
Paano yung
So
nagbibigay ng
that's
screen?
basically
Yung nagbibigay ng screen na yan, mahirap din yan, ha? Yung nagbibigay ng screen.
Yung number 10.
Fernandez.
Number 10 ng Toyota, nagbibigay ng screen. Mahirap din yan, ha?
Sorry, no. Yung number 10, masakit yata yun ba yung matangkad na payat?
Oo, yan.
Oo.
Na napagaling din maglaro.
Yeah. No, Coach, you're
yes,
the fourth lang eh. You're the fourth guest
Sobrang
who
galing
used the
mo.
word
Anyway,
karate chop.
so going back to the number, kasi Ateneo ko I always wanted a soft edge on the number. So it had no significance except the fact that soft siya, hindi siya yung 1 matulis or 3, di ba? So akin was 2 parang and 0. Kaya Ateneo ko noon was 20. 0 and 2 ang Ateneo ko. So I think sa third and fourth year kung saan kailan kami nag-champion. It's only in the national team where I was at number 10 yata. Kasi hindi naman kailang for captain ball. I was the captain ball but my number was not 4. So I didn't recognize my number nung nakatayo kami kanina. So anyways, are we talking about si Mon na? Mon Fernandez
Si Mon kasi nagbibigay ng screen sa picture na to eh. Mukhang natabali kayo eh.
Talaga. In fact, I don't know kung yung screen na yan, nung pagdaan ko, linabas niya yung kunyari, ini-screen na niya, pero yung elbow niya nakalabas direkta sa mukha ko. Sa mukha! Hindi yung tuhod, yung elbow niya, yung kamay.
Elbow
So
sa
one
mukha.
time, isang game, pag nangyari ganyan, eksakto, tinamaan ako sa ulo, sa may almost bridge of my nose.
Wow.
Hinto agad ako, tapos nagmura ako, sabi, putsang na, Mon, pati ba ikaw, ganyan? Kasi for me, I thought he was a malinis na player, no? Tapos nung ginawa, pati ba ikaw ganyan? Sabi, sorry, Fritz, sorry.
Nag-sorry naman.
Oo, kasi at that time we knew each other na kasi he was the president siya ng di ba, Players Association.
Yeah.
Oo, tapos nagsama kami to yung unang playoff show namin na nagkaroon kami ng fundraising for the Players Association. We did that. So I supported him that. And then nung ako naging second president, he supported me. Sila Atoy siya. Ikaw na, Fritz. So I was the second Players Association president.
Right.
Yung kay Bobby, kay Jowo, hindi ko alam kung anong Players Association yung kanya. Iba yun eh. I don't know if siya yata yung unang-una, pero hindi yun yung registered sa SEC na Players Association. Among the players lang, no? So kasi alam kong una si Mon nga eh. Then I was the second.
Kaya nga siya el presidente.
That's where I was about to say, Monica
Siguro
El Presidente came from.
Palagay ko because of that or president siya sa galing niya, no?
Pwede rin.
What's
Diba?
next on the... Ito,
Ayan na si Beng.
Sino yan?
Si Al Green to, di ba? Si Al Green yung inaagawan ba? O si James Hardy?
11, oo. Yes, 11.
This is Beng.
Beng, pero sino yung inaagaw? James Hardy yata yung inaagawan niya eh.
can't even tell anymore. I'm sure someone knows that's watching.
Number 11.
Either James Hardy or Al Green lang yan eh.
Yung kasalikod.
Wait. Chris pa yan, no?
Chris pa, yeah.
Might be Hardy.
I think that could be that could be Al Green. You know why? Yung import namin parang si James Alum eh.
Okay.
Hindi naman si ano yan eh. ang import namin na,
Hindi na si
di ba,
James
tas
yan.
nasa likod niya si Rocha. I think that's Alum. Our, hindi naman si Aaron James yan eh.
Mm-mm.
So this was not the championship namin.
Mhm.
Oh, hindi ito yung championship kasi hindi yan yung uniform namin ng championship.
Eh,
This was the conference after.
Pero
At alam
Coach,
ko yan yung binabantay.
tell us about
Wala si
I'm sorry, you got cut? Well,
Well, kaya nawala si Noel. This is
Noel,
moving to the
nakat.
next, ano.
Cut.
Yeah, he
Wala.
dropped off. He
Internet
dropped off.
problems, coach. It happens all the time.
Okay.
Okay.
Ito na yung
Stock formation to eh.
1980.
Oh, let's talk about it na. Pag-usapan
Ito
na
na
natin
yung championship, the
Kailangan
open
eh.
conference na ayokong balikan pero kailangan.
16 seconds were left on the clock, coach. Game 5 of the
Masakit, Sid.
championship
Masakit,
series.
ha?
This is
Kasi
the
ready
stock
na.
formation.
No, kasi my dad was a good friend of Fort Acuña. So, the coach of Toyota noon. He and my dad were buddies in college. Kaya Toyota kami sa bahay. So, masakit
Sino?
ito sa amin.
Si Fort Acuña?
Yeah,
Si Fort?
barkada siya ng father ko sa college sa UP. So, sa bahay noon, lahat kami Toyota.
Okay.
So, this was kaya masakit to sa amin eh. 1980.
Kailangan na pag-usapan yan, coach. Anong naalala mong
yeah.
nangyari dyan? What happened in that the 16 seconds?
Yun. Oo. Okay.
Me too.
Mm-mm.
Although, ni-recall na ni Ate
You're
Kinito.
a big part of that, ha? Malaki,
Yeah.
you played a big role in that comeback.
Yeah. Actually, kasi nung last 16 seconds, time out yata kami, no? To design a defensive play namin. So, ang naturally ako kung sino naglalabas ng bola, I'm the one that would guard that person. 'Di ba? To harass the passer. So, kasi whoever that is, o parang inassume namin na si Tuadles at siya yung binabantayan, siya maglalabas ng bola.
Mhm.
'Di ba? So, ako, ang philosophy ko kasi talaga, you make it difficult for your opponent to pass, for him to find, mahirap magbigay ng bola. Hindi yung just let him pass whoever he wants to pass the ball, right? So, kaya you parang tinatawag na gumagamit ka ng Ferris wheel or helicopter where when you're one, you wave your hand, no, left and right, and parang mahirapan, and even your feet. So in other words, and tighten sa iba, so medyo nahirapan pumasa si Arnie Tuadles. So ang nakita niya, which was again a no-no, was si Francis on the opposite side, no, of the half court. Cross pass, di ba? Dapat kasi diyan yung pinakamalapit lang, may lumapit eh, pero nade-deny nga. So hindi naman niya mapasa ng crisp na diretso na bullet pass kasi nga I was right in front of him, matangkad din. So parang lob pass yung kanya. In other words, malup yung pasa niya kay Arnaiz. Imagine from that, it gave time for si McDonald to run from a center position. He was guarding sa low post. Nag-pop out si Arnaiz dito sa right side, opposite. Ba kasi sa left naglabas ng bola eh. Left sa may Green Gate area. So he had enough time to run and get the ball and to rush for that fast break. Ganon. Oo. So that would have tied it. Pero yung sandali, no, we have to backtrack a bit. Kasi yung timeout na yon, hindi pala kami kasi 2 points na. Sorry. Before that, bola namin. Nakashoot sila 4 points. 16 seconds, 4 points ang lamang nila. Sorry. That's how it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
And nung
Nilabas na nga yung banner eh.
bola,
Nilabasan nila yung championship banner eh.
Yeah, so yes. So sorry. So my mistake yon. That was the last 2 points. So anyway, 16 seconds. Dinabas namin, play, binigay kay Aaron James.
Yes, Aaron James.
Binigay kay Aaron James sa side, sa corner, sa right side. And they allowed him to dribble, weave. Siyempre magaling NBA din, di ba? In other words, I think it was like a token defense or something. They made him take the shot, lay up. So nag 2 points. So bumaba yung, imagine na waste ng time nung linabas namin, pasa kay James, tapos he weaved and then made the layup. 4 seconds ang natira. Okay? So, then, ako, later on, fast track, as a coach, sabi ko, would I have called a timeout or not? Kasi that was one of the issue eh. Diba?
Yes.
If Linabas nila agad ng bola, 4 seconds to go. Arnaiz dribbles away. You either foul him or kasi hindi ka pa nakaka-defensa eh. See, yun ang mangyayari doon, di ba? The problem naman, for the coach that calls a timeout, wait, nandito ka sa front court ng kalaban, your back court. Pag linabas mo sa ilalim ng court, ng ring, maagaw, easy 2 points, magtatay. Yun naman ang another philosophy dyan. Ako, hindi magta-time out. In fact, nung championship namin against Lasal, I was coaching. Ang sabi ko, hindi ako magta-time out. Pagka nakashoot ng kalaban, ilabas na yung... I was giving instructions while the foul shot was being given. Sino maglalabas, kanino ibibigay, dribble. Anyways, so si Coach Fort decided time out. Kaya, 2 points ang lamang nila, linabas nila yung bola. Then kung napasa lang nila yung 4 seconds, 5 seconds, panalo na sila. Diba? Pero, ayun nga, so na-intercept, nilay up ni McDonald's, diba? Pag layup niya, time na yun, tapos na. Foul siya ni Arnaiz, so he was in the act of shooting. So, na-miss niya, so he had to take a foul shot. No more time. So, he had to make both. Yun ang bilib naman ako yung pressure that he had. Na kinain ng pasok yung dalo for an extension.
Kakagaling lang kasi ng championship eh. Di ba?
Yes, and I read somewhere, I don't know where, when I was looking for a picture, Noel, si Fields daw was shouting at Arnaiz. That I don't remember. Sinasabi niya, let go mo si, don't foul him because I'm behind you to
block
the shot.
And he probably would have. He probably would have blocked it. Magaling sa
but probably, but I don't recall how far he was. Diba? How far he was kasi si Glenn mabilis eh. So, coming siya from the baseline, hindi niya aabutan. Na-intercept ni Glenn, nandun almost sa half court na. So, sila lang ni Francis ang magkatabi. So, it was only Francis that would really have gone after him kasi he was on a sprint kasi 4 seconds to go. So, it wasn't like he had time to dribble 1-2 na hindi huminto. No, siya, pag agaw niya, diretso na for a layup eh. So, walang choice si Francis, si Kiko, but foul him.
And of course, overtime, UTEX went on to win.
Oh, and the rest is history.
3 points ni Adornado yung go-ahead. Go-ahead basket yata eh.
Tsaka pagka ganun na, nagganon at nakatay, parang psychologically yung isang team, ano na yun eh, psych na sila, nagkaka-second win, nagkakaroon ng confidence. Yung kalaban naman, mentally parang shocks. Panalo na. No?
Deflated.
Naalala ko yung kwentong yan na sinasabi ni Coach Fritz. Kasi si Bogs Adornado, si Coach Bogs, nasa Araneta kami, dinala pa ako kung saan niya tinira. Nandito kasi ako. We were on the floor. Ine-explain ni Bogs Adornado about that game. The final 16 seconds. It was a great win for UTEX, but of course, the 3 of us are Toyota fans. It took us a while to get over that.
Tanduay si Charlie. Huwag natin kalimutan.
Tanduay mga, wala pa pala. No? Kami ni Sid, we're Toyota fans. It took us a while to get over that. But that was just but we also won another championship din naman after that.
Yeah.
With UTEX.
Nanalo pa ba? Parang hindi na yata.
Yeah, that was their second already.
That was their second. Yes, exactly. Stand corrected. 78 and 80.
78 muna.
Yung una kasi was Crispa, the next one was with Toyota. Kaya classic yun, we were tagged as the third team that broke the duopoly or monopoly ng dalawa.
Tama.
And then the last championship we played, ano yata yung Toyota, ano kami noon, UTEX. Sino ba kasi una kami nakapasok eh. Yung team namin yung kanina, ang nakalaban namin Crispa sa championship.
Ano to, 81?
Yes. Oo.
Sila wise na import nyo doon.
Si Alum, ang import namin noon, and Robinson, yung magaling na payat, 6'3".
I remember him.
Yun, yung uniform namin na yun.
Yung balikat, di ba? Yung nakataas yung balikat.
Ang payat pero dead shot pala kung sumot. Tapos replacement lang siya. He came in. I don't know who he replaced. Biglang ang galing pa ng sumot.
Sino coach yun? Si Glenn McDonald na yung coach?
Glenn McDonald na yung...
Si Glenn. Kasi I remember kami yung unang pumasok sa championship eh. Final. So we waited. We could even afford na natalo pa kami ng game but we were in already.
Against Chris pa nga, reinforced.
Yes,
conference.
reinforced. Natalo kami sa case.
81.
Sino Chris Paul
Naalala
report
ko
doon?
kasi yun eh. Ako papalit-palit ng guard. Si Al Green babantayan ko.
Al Green yata eh. Oo.
Si Dalupan magaling, di ba? Mag-switch ng players. Pag nababantayan, papalitan niya ng Gidaben, papalitan niya ng Cesar. So yun ang mga nababantayan ko noon during the championship.
Coach, napag-usapan natin si Baby Dalupan kanina. How about Tommy Manotoc as a coach? Kamusta naman siya?
Yeah.
What was his...
Ibang-iba naman siya, 'di ba? There are a couple of philosophy ng coaches eh. There's a fatherly, there is one naman dictatorial kung ano gusto niya. Ito lang gagawin niyo, wala na kang iba, 'di ba?
Ganon si Tommy.
Si Tommy, ang kanya, he was a manager. Siguro with his corporate, with his experience, hindi siya yung magdidikta. Ang kanya, ano man term doon, he would get the consensus. So pag time out, tatanong muna yan, anong palagay mo? Beng, anong palagay mo? Fritz, Glenn, anong nangyayari palagay mo? You give your piece. Pag na-pick up na niya yan, saka siya magbibigay ng instruction. Saka niya sasabihin, itong gagawin natin. Ganito ang ating game plan. So he was like a consultative coach, si Tommy. So kinukonsulta niya yung mga players, that gives a lot of confidence in the players, no? Parang binavalue niya ang ano mo.
But you had a personal relationship with him because you basically played for him for several years, and then even later on, di ba? Parang kinuha niya ulit.
Yes. So, well, I guess he took me in as parang ang younger brother niya, di ba? When I came in, siya yung pumasok, siya yung nagkuha sa akin na coach, and he liked my attitude as a player, my professionalism. In fact, among the team nagkaroon kami ng parang nagkaroon ng internal problem wherein nag-bull session, tapos yung mga stars nagsabi sila sa mga stars, "Coach, bakit si Fritz ginagamit mo? First year lang siya, ginagamit na siyang starting guard. And he gets more playing time than many of us." Alam mo, simple lang ang sagot niya. Sinabi lang niyang agad, sabi niya, "If any of you can practice the way he practices every day, not only giving 100%, he gives 120% effort in all practice drills that we do, then gagamitin ko kayo." Yun lang ang sinabi niya. Di tahimik na lahat. No one. Kasi parang alam nila eh. Diba na ako, I would even try to match sa running against Glenn McDonald, who's a 6'5" NBA. Hindi ako magpapatalo sa mga warm-up, sa running, sa drills. Lahat sinasabayan ko siya. Because of that statement nga, sabi ni Noblesada, kaya ko naman yung ginagawa ni Fritz. So there was one practice na ang ginawa namin. Nag-contest. Contest kayo, tatakbo din around sa Lasal Dome sa taas. Kasi doon kami nagtumatakbo around that dome for 20 laps, I think. Warm up. So 20 laps, bibigyan ni Fritz si Noblesada ng 1/2 lap ahead. So dito nagsimula siya 1/2 lap ahead. Tinakbo namin. Hindi ko siya naabot. Yung 1/2 lap na maintain. So finally nanalo siya dun sa warm up. Pero I remember exactly what he said after it. Sabi niya, kaya ko naman pagtaas niya, sabi niya, tinalo ko siya dito sa practice na ito, sa warm-up. Pero dito lang, at yan lang ang pinaghandaan ko. Pero hindi ko na magagawa yung ibang, kung tuloy-tuloy, na everyday ganyan. Sabi niya, hindi ko magagawa yung So, it just proved, yung sabi nga ni Tommy na, when you practice hard, is what and ako, I maintain that as a coach. Na, if you practice, then you get to play. Yun ang dyan. Kaya si Dalupan ganun eh. Ateneo, di mo alam mo first 5 siya. Kung sino magandang practice the day before, yun ang magsisimula. Magandang laro mo, magandang practice mo, ikaw ang magsisimula. Pag nagsimula ka at magandang laro mo, tuloy-tuloy ka. Ganun siya. Sa Chris Pide, siya meron siyang solid 5 niya, di ba? Oo. May Fabiosa, Gidaben,
So, sino
Balde,
hinuli?
Philip.
Sino hinuli dito? Tefilin. Jojo de Guzman. Jojo de
Guzman?
Supalpal ni Fritz Gaston.
Saan yan? Wait, hindi ko makita yung picture.
The picture, sir.
Wait, where do I go?
Lang.
Here. Wait.
Yeah.
Oo. Yeah,
Oh.
Jojo de Guzman ba yan?
Jojo de Guzman.
Kasi, oo, 20. Maliit siya eh. Jojo is only like,
Huling-huli, oh.
Oo nga eh.
Huli.
Butata
Sino
talaga eh.
sila sa shot? Si Bob Tornado. Sino pa yung iba dito?
Mulet Pineda tsaka si
Mulet.
Jimmy Noblesada.
Noblesada
okay.
ito.
Oo.
Ah.
yes,
So, yun yung
that's
solid
Mulet,
Utex
Sada
na grupo. With Limeng Beng, di ba?
Very unique yung uniforme nyo nun, coach. Yung ganyan na diagonal.
Yung style.
No?
Yan yung championship uniform namin.
Yes, I can never
That's
forget.
the one. Yan ang kaya kami nag-champion sa uniform na yan. Alala mo. Kaya malakas yung team na yan. Oo. So ewan ko bakit 4 kami nandyan. Siguro hindi ginamit yung kasi Teflon hindi masyadong di ba? Hindi malakas kaya can afford not to play the 2 imports. Kasi remember the time, pag first and second ka, you can only have 1 import. Pero walang limit ng height. So Bruce King sa Andy Fields, they were both 6'11". Pag third placer ka naman,
All-Filipino to eh. Pwedeng All-Filipino rin naman to eh.
pwede, tama ka. Tama.
Oo.
Pwedeng all-Filipino rin ito.
1980.
Yeah,
Oo.
1980.
We still use the same uniform. That's correct. Kaya kaming niyan, oo. You're right also. Hindi yan.
Yeah. Pero tama ka, coach. That was a rule before, na a little known rule ngayon among PBA aficionados. Pag top 2 yung team mo, 1 or 2, you could not play your imports at the same time.
Yeah.
Kailangan alternate sila.
Isa-isa lang, salit-salit lang.
Oh, may ganung handicap rule noon.
Oo.
Parang may handicapping nga.
Yung
To
Honda
level
dati,
the playing
dalawa
field.
Yung Honda nga dati, 2 import nila, 7-footer pa pareho. Si Jim Zoot saka si Michael Carter, sabay nilalaro yun, ha?
Oo. Nag-iba
Diba?
Ayun, ewan ko kung pagkukulelat ka, pwedeng unli, no? Kasi kami,
Ano sila?
ang isa dapat 6'11", more than 6'11", walang unli height. Tapos yung isa naman, it has to be 6'5" and below.
6'5 and below. Tama.
Kaya
One
si
big, one small.
McDonald was 6'5". 6'5" si McDonald. Yun
Pero
ang ginawa
pa dati,
nila.
6'5 and 6'3 eh. Yung height, kaya hindi nakalaro si Norman Black sa isang conference eh.
Right.
Yeah.
Oo, may ganon.
Pero huling-huli si
Meron pa?
Jojo de Guzman dito.
Marami pa ba yan?
Maganda rin.
Ito yung binigay sa atin ni Coach Fritz. Yan. Sino ba si buwabantay? Si Al Green yan, di ba?
Al Green, that's Al Green. Oo.
That's
I would
Al
say
Green.
he's one of the...
And
maliit lang yan, 6'1", no? Pero ang hirap bantayan, sobra. Kasi he was one of the guys that I guard. I was to guard na ang hirap. Magaling siyang magdala ng bola. He was a wizard.
Doon na sapatos ni Jimmy Noblesada, Adidas top 10.
Oo, nauso yan. I had that also. Yung soft, yung sa taas.
Oo nga.
May cushion.
Ito, ibang team na.
ito, San Miguel na.
San Miguel na to.
Yes.
They were defending
Gilbis
against
ang kalaban.
Henralao. Billy Henralao.
Oo, Gilbis. Nag-move up kasi nagsara yung nagtapos ng UTEX. When they closed, I went to San Miguel.
With Tommy Manotok also.
Hindi, wala. Tommy was with Chris pa na that year.
No.
Yes, you're right.
No,
You're right.
wala pa. No.
Wala pa, 82. Tommy was still with San Miguel. Last year ni
Pero
Dalupan sa
83 na
Crispa.
San Miguel, di ba? What year did you move? 83 na yan, di ba?
83.
Coach?
Yeah, 83 when they closed, I moved to San Miguel.
Who was your coach?
Okay.
Yeah, si Tommy went to Crispa.
Sino yung nag-head coach sa San Miguel noon?
Hindi, in fact, hindi pa yata siya nag-Crispa noon o Crispa na siya.
Chris pa na, Grand Slam year yun eh.
Chris pa, Grand Slam year.
Oo.
No,
I was young,
remember,
ang coach
first
dyan, si Nat
conference,
Canson.
parang hindi pa.
Not Canson. Not Canson.
Nat Canson ang coach. Tapos I signed 2 years. After 1 year, sabi ko sa manager, Ibaseta, hindi kami mahirap mag-champion nitong team. Tsaka sabi ko, hindi ako ginagamit sparingly. So sayang ang pera nyo, sayang din ako. Sabi ko gano'n. Ganun lang dati. Dati easy lang, di ba? So release na lang. O release ako. Pasok agad ako sa Crispa. Kinuha ko ni Tommy. Kinukuha niya ako.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna ask.
Oo.
You joined
From San
Crispa
Miguel.
for 1
Ito
year.
na.
Yes, dapat 2 years. Nag-Crispa
Jimmy.
ako. 85.
In trade.
84.
Yeah. This is an article written by the late great Butch Maniego. The headline is Fritz and Jimmy Crispa's Defensive Enforcers. So,
Jimmy
talaga,
Taguines.
Jimmy
Taguines.
Taguines.
Taguines,
Jimmy.
oo.
Hindi, Jimmy Javier yan.
Jimmy Javier.
Jimmy Javier.
Sorry.
Jimmy Javier yan.
Jimmy Javier.
Hindi Jimmy
Taguines.
Taguines.
Jimmy Taguines nag-UTEX din, di ba?
UTEX yun.
Pero Crispa na to. Crispa's defensive enforcers eh.
Ay, okay. Yan. Sorry, nalito ako doon.
Interesting yan. Babasahin ko yan. Pwede ko bang ma-save yan?
Oh,
Oo,
we'll
we'll send it to
send
you.
it. We'll send it.
Sana lang
Sige,
medyo
sige,
readable
pwede
pa
naman.
yung ano, no?
Oo.
Pero,
Tama,
Yeah.
that's Jimmy
Javier.
Javier, FEU. Crispa naman, what happened is, nung kinuha ko ni Tommy, kasi
Yan,
he wanted
kayo.
to-
Oo.
ito yun. Nag-champion kasi.
Yeah.
Nag-champion kami nung
84.
nandun ako. Oo,
the last title of
That's
Crispa.
the last title.
correct. Oo, si Bernardo na yan. Ang
Yeah,
coach.
si Ciso.
Ciso Bernardo.
Likod ni Danny Floro.
Yes.
That's
yeah.
right.
And you are
Oh,
behind him.
Na-reunite kayo ni Lim Beng Beng dyan eh.
Yes.
Oo, kasi ang nangyari diyan, kinuha niya kami ni Tommy nga nung siya na yung nag-Crispa. So he wanted a strong backup to his 5. Para pag pumapaltos yung 5 niya, then may replacement siya na malakas pa rin. So kinuha kami ni Beng para nandun kami dalawang guard, nandun si Villamin, nandun si Padin.
By Cristobal.
Oo, and by
Tsaka may Willie Pearson ka na no? Nandiyan na si
Willie.
Willie.
Oo.
Galing
So,
ni Willie nun.
Pagka off yung mga first 5 niya, first 6 players niya sila off, then pwede niyang palitan. So that was his formula. Kasi when he called me, sabi niya, I want to have a support group that is super malakas din. Not superstars, pero talagang malakas, no? So that's how I remember him getting me and Beng in the team.
Si Freddy Obalde was injured here, no? So
Yeah.
Yes, during the championship. So, yan
This was the last hurana of Crispa, Coach Fritz, what was it like playing with this
1 year lang
legendary
yan
team?
Yeah,
1 year
lang.
yan. Ganito, 1 year yan. First conference.
First conference.
Kinidnap. Si Tommy nawala, di ba?
Mm.
Incidents niya, nakinidnap.
Mm.
So, si Coach Bernardo na took over. So, he was basically the coach na for those 3 conferences. And, ayun. So, last year nila yun. Ang focus naman ni Sir Danny noon, late Danny, was tumakbo siyang assemblyman. Congress at that time, no?
Yep.
So,
Sa Marikina.
no, not in Marikina.
Di ba Marikina?
No, Pasig. Pasig area siya.
Pasig ang
Yun ang
Crispa
kanya.
Pasig.
Sa
Pasig.
Pasig.
Yung Floro
Floro
Fernando.
Street.
Doon. In fact, nakakatawa nga ang mga practices namin
Pasig
ng
nga, Pasig.
kampanya. Doon kami sa mga court, open court ng Pasig. Yun ang practices namin sa semento. See? Kaya one conference noon, I don't know kung ito rin yun, na injured din ako.
Pakit sa
Kasi
tuhod.
Hindi, I had a stress fracture kasi nagpa-practice kami sa cement eh.
Yeah.
So mabigat. Ako, di ba, kahit saan kami maglaro, talagang bigay ako, mga talon, takbo, gano'n. So I had a stress fracture. Pagdating sa game, first game pa lang noon, nag-give and go kami ni Cesar. Pagbagsak ko, doon ako nagka-stress fracture. So I was out for 2 conferences of the Crispa team. So I don't think I played the championship. I was there. So baka hindi nga rin ako nakaano dyan, uniform. Kita mo, t-shirt.
Yeah, parang hindi nga uniform.
Hindi naka-uniform mo kasi pareho ni Freddy. Oo. Ganun nangyari dyan. Tapos after that year, umayaw na si Floro nag-fold kasi natalo siya eh.
Yeah.
Malaking gastos niya sa politics. Parang hininto na niya yung PBA niya at that time. Yun. Nalipat naman ngayon ako sa Manila Beer.
Right.
After that.
How did you end up there, Coach? With Manila Beer?
Sa Manila Beer. Parang
Ito yun. Ito lang yung nakuha namin photo of you in a Manila Beer.
Iwanan ni Ricardo, bro.
Oh, yan.
Right.
Si Ricky Brown nagle-lay up.
Oo. Yeah, ako would guard him, no? So, yun, mahirap rin siyang bantayan. Pero nag-teammate din kami niyan, last year ko sa grade.
Last year, yeah.
Tama.
Nakakatawa rin ng team ang pag-ano namin yan eh. Ni Ricky. Pero mahirap bantayan yan. Even nung nasa Northern siya, we were UTEX. I think we played them 1 championship or kasi he goes through a series of screens.
Right.
So kailangan lalabanan mo yung screen na yon. Pagka naipit ka, he's very dead shot na makukuha niya. Anyway, so nag-close ang Crispa. I helped form the shell team. at that time, that's when the Shell came in. So during nung si Tommy naging commissioner na dyan.
Yeah.
So, nakaibigan ko yung isang expat ng Shell na nanonood dati when I was playing for Crispa and Manila Beer. So, sabi niya, hindi pa Manila Beer. Crispa pa nung nag-fold, sabi niya, tayo tayo ng team. Shell, I talk to Shell, you talk to Tommy Manotok. So anyway, tinayo namin. In short, tapos, but I was not taken in the team ng tinayo ko na team, no? Which is Shell. So, dapat kasama si Padim, si Joy, si Steve. Lahat ng Ateneo na out. Tatanggal sa team na yon. Pumasok lahat from Eco. Tanduay na players yung first year ng Shell.
Tama. Sila Abet Gutierrez.
Yes, yun lahat. So, si Vic Sanchez and also.
Kaya,
Ako naman, because of that what happened, sabi ni Tommy, dapat sabi ko, ayoko na maglaro. Kasi ako nagtulong mag-form and yet hindi pa ako nasama. So sabi niya, hindi. So you go to Manila Beer and try out ka. So they put a spot for me sa guard. Kulang naman sila ng guard dun eh. Diba? So si Tim Coloso lang yata nandun. Tapos yung isa was Eddie Boy Mendoza. So hinold. Akong linagay for 1 year doon.
Okay.
Nakapasok din kayo finals nun, where you were swept by...
I don't recall that. Ang naalala ko lang doon, nag-teammate kami muna ni Abed. Tapos trinade sila. So si Mon ang nag-trade yata. So kaya naging teammate din kami ni Abed, ni Mon.
Yeah.
So doon kami naging magkaibigan. Pati yata si Atoy eh.
Yes.
If I
And
remember
your
right.
Atoy was there.
Yeah.
Si Francois Wise, yung import nyo ng third conference.
That's right. Yes.
So nagkasama kayo uli ni Francois Wise dyan.
That's correct.
Sa Manila Beer.
My gosh, yun.
Yeah, he talked a lot about you also when we interviewed him last week. He mentioned you numerous times.
Funny incident with him kasi akong pagka may dumating na import nun, ako ang pinapaano sa mga import. Yung parang pinapasamahan, to get them oriented in Manila. And I'd go and pag si Glenn, nung siyang unang pumasok, at sila Aaron James, dadalhin ko yan sila sa Malate. Sa mga girly bars, di ba? So akong sumasama with them.
Ikaw ang chaperone,
Ako parang gano'n kasi makaka-English and then marunong makisama. Nung nag-great taste ako, si Lumasi, yung baby giant, di ba? So he was a very volatile person, very moody. Akong sinasama doon pag out of town, kami mag-roommate niya ni Lumasi. Lumasi is, sa Gilbis.
Gilbis, yes. Gilbis.
Hindi. Yung great taste na malaki, Louis ba yun?
Lou Brown.
Lou Brown.
6'11".
Tama. Lou Brown.
Yung malaki, gwapo na may bigote.
May skyhook.
Namatay na rin yun. He passed away a few years ago.
I did? Oh my gosh. So, turned out to be a very nice guy but very volatile. So anyways, si Francois, akong sumasama, kaya we became good friends kasi kung anong gagawin niya, gagawin ko rin. Sabi ko, Fritz, let's go, warm up. Go to sa ultra, sa gym, magwe-weights. Sasamahan ko yan. Ang warm-up niya, 250. Ang bench press niya, 250. Ako sabi ko, putsang na, pinakamabigat ko na. Hindi ko kaya 250. Struggle na ako dyan. Isa, dalawa lang. No? Siya warm-up niya, kaya ang laki niya. So there was one incident, napikon siya. Pag-rebound niya, sumiko. Sumiko siya. He made that action of elbowing and shoving the persons around him. Tinamaan si Francois tinamaan niya si Paes. Ang payat ni Paes, di ba? Tumilapon. Kinuha ko yung bola, binato ko kay Francois. Binato ko. What the fuck are you trying to do? You're killing your teammate. Binato ko ng bola. Uminit lang ang ulo ko yung instant. Kaya sabi nga ng mga teammate, buti hindi ka sinapak, hinabol ni Francois, patay ka siguro. Sabi ko, hindi ko naisip yun kasi ang laki niya, di ba? Pero ang reaction niya siguro, he respected me and dahil kaibigan kami, nag-apologize pa siya. Na-realize niya that, why are you hurting your teammate? Mabuti sana kung malaking sa tinamaan niya si Paes, payat, di ba? So, tumilapon, doon ako nagalit. but
Sis, meron ba?
Ha?
Ito,
Iba na to. Ito
87
medyo...
na yata
Ito,
eh.
88. But
88 na ba yan?
well, screenshot
Nag-coach
ito
ka na.
ng coaching mo sa Ateneo the year that you won the back-to-back.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Oo. Ako lang yung second, Hindi yung both,
Yeah,
yung first,
Yeah, the first.
Chris Kalina.
Chris Kalila.
Yeah.
Chris was
What was
first.
that? What was that experience like going back to the alma mater and taking
Bastard
over
team
defending
na yan.
champion?
Yung ano?
What was it like? Yan.
It was fun, It was nice, but it was very very stressful. Coaching, then you realize it's so stressful from both ends, from handling 14 different characters, and then the crowd and the parents, at least in college, no? So mahirap, but quite interesting, no? Versus sa PBA, sa marunong ka lang mag-manage ng ego ng players, okay ka na, then magagaling na eh. But in college, you have to deal with their characters, you have to deal with their frailties, insecurities, and egos. So yun ang mahirap. So sabi ko nga, una, nung in-offer sa aking trabaho, sabi ko, madali lang yan. Diba? Kaya ko. So sabi ko, but I need to work. I just finished my master. So nung kinuha ko ni Ricky Palot Ernest, I was working for his company. At the same time, I would go after the day. Punta akong Loyola, training naman kami. Pero pagdating ng second round, pina-full-time na ako. Sabi, mahirap na masyado itong second round. So, hinto ako dahil then ako nag-focus na sa coaching.
Yeah, you handled a very young may nagtanong kasi sa akin via text eh. You handled a very young Danny Francisco noong time na yun. May comparisons na noon between parang siya raw yung next Mon Fernandez with his height and were those comparisons accurate?
Yes. In fact, ako ang unang nagsabi niya na this guy would be one of the greatest in the PBA. He would be, in fact, I even dared saying he would be better than Fernandez if he had played. Kasi one is he's taller, he's 6'6", ang haba ng mga kamay niya, no? And very intelligent maglaro and very wily. I've seen him play. He can take 15-footer jump shots just like Mon, but under the goal, hindi mo alam kung saan nanggagaling yung mga yung bola. Oo, tapos one time after the championship ng UAP, uso yung big guards noon eh. Doon ko nakita, then nanonood ang NBA, si LA Lakers that time, Irvin Johnson, di ba? Big guard. So, tapos ako, big guard din ako. So, one practice before we played in the national senior something, pinag-guard ko si Eric, tsaka si Danny Francisco.
Eric Reyes.
Sabi ko, white and blue, hinati ko. Danny, point guard ka sa blue. Eric, point guard ka sa white. You know, ayaw man nila magsimula. They thought I was kidding. Deadpan. They were all, what's wrong? Go, play. Pinaglaro. Doon ko nakita, Danny could dribble the ball.
Yeah. He did have a lot of dribbling skills.
He could bring the ball down and fast. Sabi ko, po, makakadribble pala si Danny court to court, kahit may bantay. Diba? And syempre, assign sa kanyang malaki na guard, no? So, di na-outrun, niya yung bantay niya. Diba? Kasi pag maliit naman ang i-assign para aagaw, magkaka-mismatch. Diba? Magkaka-mismatch sila nung maliit. Bibigay lang niya, magpo-post up siya. So, that's where. Si Eric naman magaling pumasa. So, he could pass the ball. As a point guard, he was not as adept in dribbling. Pero pag nasa point na siya, pagpasa niya, magpo-post up siya, balik sa. So, nag-transition siya from guard to... Like ako, I did that couple of times. So, pag maliit yung bantay ko, pag pinasa ko, po-post up ko. Pag maliit yung... Sa PBA, maliit yung bantay ko, then talagang I'd play sa ilalim. I would have that advantage.
Coach, how come you didn't stick around with Ateneo? How come you didn't stick around with Ateneo after winning the championship?
Again, as usual, there were internal diba? We had some internal challenges during the season. So at that time, right after the when they asked me if I would want to coach again, sabi ko, a couple of things lang ang aking because I would have 3 things that would make me stay. Because sabi ko, one would be yung sports director namin ng Ateneo at the time, hindi makikialam sa basketball program. The late Father Holzer that time.
Yeah.
Kasi na-experience ko nga, maraming mga aming regulations that he would try to overstep or he would challenge. So, sabi ko, hindi maganda yan. So parang kino-contradict niya. Sabi ko, that's not healthy for the team. So, sabi ko, yun ang isang condition na huwag niyang pakialaman yung basketball. Pangalawa, hindi pwede yung mga stars again to play for the PBL. Individually, it will not be good for the team because I experienced that, no? So, in fact, nung natalo ang Lasal sa amin, nakita ni Joey Concepcion yon that kasi he approached me so before the season, sinabihan ko yung mga players ko, some of you, like yung mga superstars sa inyo, are going to be called to play for the national team. So, and I don't think that is fair. Like, because that happened to me, kaya kami natalo sa Beda. Middle of the season, tanggal kami. We played for the, di ba? There was no compromise. Kaya nga, ang sinusubukan, sana same calendar lahat para hindi na-affectuhan dito. And that's the struggle even until now, yung PBA. Tapos mawawalan, diba? Since commercial yan, ayaw nila until pumayag na ngayon yung si MVP at si RSA. No? But during that time, yun ang sinabi ko sa kanila, hindi kayo pwedeng so you choose. If you want to play for the national team, I will not put you as part of my team sa Ateneo. That was my condition. You can go, I will not include you in the lineup. So they all decide, no, we will all play for Ateneo. So in the middle of the season, tinausap ko ni Joey, Fritz, coach, yung mga players mo, kailangan sa national team. Sabi ko, we had this pact, etc., etc. But in fairness, Joey, talk to them pa rin. And if they agree with you, then wala na akong magagawa, di ba? Whether they want to break that pact, their commitment to Ateneo, at least I'm telling you, we had that, but you go talk to them. Hindi ko sinabing, wag. So anyway, they all decided they will not. They stuck to Ateneo. Kaya kami noon. So we had a strong team. The following year, ginawa ni Joey yan. Siya nag-manage ng Lasal team. Hindi niya pinag-national team. Sila Limpot, sila, di ba, although qualified
Cardel.
sila. Oo, Cardel, hindi niya pinaglaro. Sila yata nag-champion the following year.
Tama, sila naman nag-back-to-back after nag-back-to-back kayo.
Yes, oo. Malakas yung team nila. I saw nung nakalaban namin Sabi ko, I saw June Limpot. Sabi ko, swerte namin, hindi philosophy ni Derek, hindi gagamitin first year. So he stuck with this. Hindi niya ginamit. So he stuck with this Pacman, Peralta, Santa Maria.
Pinasok si June Limpot yata for a couple of minutes towards the end and he made a jump shot right away. He made the first shot niya, jump shot, pasok agad yun.
That's correct.
I was there. I was in Rizal.
That game sa Rizal. Tapos hindi niya rin ginamit niya. Because I saw him play nung I scouted him against FEU. Ginamit niya. Although again, sparingly. Sabi ko, ang galing nitong batang ito. Ang laki na ang galing. So sabi ko, we will be lucky kasi hindi niya ginagamit nga sparingly. Parang philosophy niya, taga-sub ka lang, di ba? It's not like first year mo, kung magaling ka. Kasi yun naman natutunan ko kay Dalupan. First year ka, magaling ka, maglaro ka. Pati kay Tommy. Ganon, di ba? So it's not like you have to go through a internship. So,
yun ang question ko naman sa'yo ngayon, Coach Fritz. You had two of the brilliant coaches, two Grand Slam coaches when you were a player. How did this affect your coaching philosophy? Paano mo na paghalo yung Baby Dalupan philosophy and Tommy Manotoc philosophy in your coaching career?
Yun, I had the advantage of absorbing from the different coaches, no? Kay Dalupan, I got yung kanyang match up. Kaya nung championship, the night before, kinausap ko na yung team, no? May 88 team. Sabi ko, tomorrow, all of you, all 12 are going to play. All 12 players. Sabi ko, no one will be bench. So, yung mentally, para prepared na sila. Sabi ko, and you will be matching with ito. Ang first 5 ni Derek, ganito. So, pag yung player na yan, papasok na in the first 5, after 5 minutes, papasok na yung player na yan. Sabi, ikaw, na match up against that, ikaw ang assigned ko dyan, tumayo ka na, magpunta ka na. Don't let me get up to call you. Sabi ko, ganun ang akin doon, no? Kasi, alam mo na, yun ang game plan natin. Kasi and then why did I do that? Para lahat sila manunood. Kasi di ba, pag alam mong bench ka, hindi ka maglalaro. You think you're prepared? Hindi na. Upo ka na lang dyan, you're bitching about it. Pero that time, nung sinabi kong lahat kayong maglalaro, I knew I would play them, whether 1 minute, 1 hour, but basta sabi ko, every time you're in there, give 120% of your So, lahat sila nanonood. Pagpasok nung Lasal, tatayo na yung player ko. Lalapit na sa akin, coach. So, sasabihin ko na, ba't ka pa naglumalapit sa akin? Go, and alam mo na yung game plan. So, ganun ang ginawa ko, matching up. I got that from Dalupan. Kay Tommy naman, yun, I would consult with the players. I would talk to them. Diba? As a person. It wasn't like, wala. So, if I see them, may mga problema. So, I was like a big brother to them also, or even fatherly. So, kinakausap ko sila. Diba? Ito, yan. Ikaw, may problema, ganyan. But I was also very strict. I was a disciplinarian also. Diba? So, because I had to harden them. See, who am I, no? Champion team. They don't know me from Adam. They probably didn't watch PBA. So, sa kanila, sino ba itong coach na to? Wala namang experience. So, to them, it wasn't probably na, back-to-back din ito. They were the one of the great Ateneo team. Hindi siguro gan because I knew some of them talaga were like questioning na like Danny Francisco came back from the States. Pagdating niya, punta sa practice. Relax pa. Coach, I just arrived from the US. Hindi niya makalimutan eh. Ang unang sinabi ko, what are you talking about now? Why aren't you dressed and get to practice? It wasn't like, excuse ka, kadadating mo lang. Kaya yun, ganun, unforgettable sa kanya yun na kala niya may rest siya. Practice ka na. And many other type of experiences. Parang si Carter, Coach Carter. I would even close door. Pag ganyan, sabi ko, close door tayo sa practice because I notice, pag ganyan ng friends nyo, girlfriends nyo, or friend nanonood, wala kayong focus. You lose your focus, nagpapasikat kayo sa friends nyo. Close door ang practice natin. So walang makapasok para focus sila sa training. And pagtapos lang ng practice, after the scrimmages, that's the time i-open lang yung door. So at that time, I would do closed door na. I had no idea that ngayon pala ginagawa na yun. Maraming things that by instinct.
Coach, yung when you were coaching in the 88 team, medyo star-studded yung team nyo doon. Who did you think was going to be a very special player or probably even a special coach at the end of their basketball careers? Napansin nyo kaagad. Sino yung special dito sa team na to? Besides Danny.
In that team?
Yes.
Actually, ang naisip ko lang talaga dyan that would really stand out. That was ironic na dahil hindi nga siya nakapag was si Danny Francisco. Sabi ko, this guy is going to fly in the PBA when he decides to play. Kasi he has all the elements eh. We played the national team of Korea na kaya niya and he was in the Mythical Five. Diba, ang mga kalaban niya were a selection club, no? Pero like 4 Koreans were in the national team. So, kaya niya, kinakaya niya. He would score, he would get rebounds against big guys. He was skinny but wily. Other than that, I didn't think Olsen would make it and become a Hall of Famer category si Olsen Rosella. No?
I don't, pati yata siya, I didn't think so at the time.
In fact, ang kanya was parang when I came in, kasi the benefit ko naman nun, I had no idea kasi I wasn't watching, I was focused on my AIM. So I didn't watch any game at all. So I didn't even know champion sila until they called me and said, you defend your championship. But when I saw them practice and all, sabi ko ba, magaling ito. I have the materials. Nandun si Alex, malalaki, di ba? Eric Reyes nandun. But I did not know their caliber as players. Kasi I know, when we would practice, parang meron silang mga del champion. So that's what I broke. And ang akin was just easy. Sinabi ko na lang sa management, ang philosophy ko, basketball is 5 guys. You cannot have 1 or 2 guys star and make them lead the team. No, it's got to be 5. Kaya sabi ko, during the training, I will break them apart. Kung sino yung mag-star, I will not include in the lineup. Sabi ko, ang tanong pa ni Ernest at ni Ricky, even June Reyes, kasi he was a star, no? Sabi ko, sino ba yan? Whoever he is, if he acts na he's a star, I will take him out of the team. So, and I tried to take him out during the season.
Oh,
Dahil
really?
nag-miss siya ng isang practice.
Mm.
Wait, in the morning kasi I would go to work. When I come back, morning sila, may program ako, may weights coach. Every other day, sa morning sila sa Ateneo Gym. Pagdating ko sa gabi, I would ask, sino hindi nag-practice yan ng umaga? That time, they were caught off guard. I asked one of them, Albert, sino hindi nag-practice? So hindi niya alam kung mag-squill siya. So si June lumapit, Coach, hindi ako nag-practice. Ayaw mo mag-practice, ha? Sige, planting rice. All you do is planting rice. The whole time we were practicing. So I did that. And then,
Sa katawan,
grabe.
I did. Kasi hate nila yun. Yun ang hate nila. They hated that. Kaya yun ang pinagawa ko. 1 hour planting rice ko lang. Pag na-miss mo yung time to do it, ulit. Then it doesn't count. Then my instruction to my assistant coach, kasi I left for Bacolod. Sabi ko, Alex Arañez, by Monday, I'll go to Bacolod weekend. Sa Monday, I don't want to see June Reyes anymore. I would expect him to quit the team. At yung ganyan. So anyway, pagbalik ko, nandun pa rin. I guess, to credit Alex Arañez man, he was a player of Lasal, ha? Lasal yun, type ni Danding. He was one of the favorites ng late Danding. Kasama niya sila Tunichi, sila Franz Pumarin. He's in the States now. Siya yung good cop, ako yung bad cop. So ako, I would be very bad, mean. Tapos they cannot approach me. Lalapit sila kay Alex, assistant. Tapos siya lalapit sa akin, Coach, medyo ganitong nangyari, medyo matindi ka kay ganyan. Okay, alright. So siyang nagbibigay feedback. No? Kinuha naman siya, ang psychology nila, kunin natin yan kasi Lasal player yan. Malapit yan sa kanila. So pag kinuha natin assistant, kaibigan nila si Alex Arañez. Kinuha natin yan, baka psychologically affectuan sila. So, okay lang, as long as we think alike. If he believes in my philosophy, I don't mind getting him. Ibang-iba nun, ikaw lang at your assistant. Ngayon, 5-5 na mga coaches. Apat assistants mo. So,
Coach? Sige, Coach. Go ahead, Coach.
I was talking about Olsen, di ba? So, pagdating ko, he was only a reliever kay June. So, during practice, sabi ko, hindi, magaling magdala ng bola yan eh. So, if I wanted a small team, hindi tatanggalin kong point si June, ilalagay ko si Olsen as the point. Si June Reyes naman would be the number 2 or slasher even. So I would create mismatches. So yun lang isa rin na ko doon kay Dalupan. Diba? Pagka maliit yung guard, magpapasok ng malaki, Canlas or si Nieto, yung parents, yung Jet, doktor siya. So yun. Anyway, actually that was the third condition ko. Going back to your question why I didn't coach again. The third was Jet, for you to stay and play your 5th year. Ayaw na niya. Gusto na niya mag-medicine. Sabi ko, mapipilayan na, I need a leader. I need a team leader. And I saw him as a team leader. Wala na yung Canlas. Graduate na sila. Yung mga potential team that will take the cudgels. Important yun eh.
Right.
So.
Yeah, Charlie.
Coach, you mentioned a while ago that you did your MBA. Very not the usual route for a PBA player, no. 2 things, no. One is you mentioned that you were the president of the Players Association at one point. Second one is you left in the middle of the All Filipino. Kakaumpisa pa lang ng All Filipino. You played in the finals in the first conference of 86. Right. Then you left in the middle of the All Filipino to pursue your studies nga sa AAM. I understand it was part of a PBA program, trust fund or something.
That's correct.
Correct. And so what was the thought process in that? You know, PBA player ka, all the glamour and then suddenly I'm gonna study. You know, you have to tell us about that because you're the only one who did that. You're the only one. There's no one else who's done it.
Well, that's interesting, and no one actually has asked me that in public also. So I guess maybe at this time pwede na yan, no? And it would be a learning to some. Because a couple of things. One is during that time, the early years ng PBA, wala pa kasi dati mga manager. Diba? We didn't really have managers that time. Eh ngayon, high school ka pa lang, meron ng manager sa'yo that manages you. So yun ang isang learning. You know, if you want to talk then you have some somebody represent you. Kasi then at least hindi ka you're not face to face with the team owner or the president or what, diba? Then basta alam mo kung anong mga gusto mo, let your manager negotiate for you. Walang ganun during our time, no? That's one. Two, in my case, because of my knee injury na at that time, so it became a negative on my negotiations in my when I would negotiate for a contract, sabi, ano yan hindi kami sigurado sa tuhod mo. They would always use that as excuse. Kaya hindi sila magbibigay ng long term.
Mhm.
Diba ako, I was so confident naman with my knee and all. So sabi ko, kaya ko naman yan. Diba? So I think the year before that, it was like Manila Beer yun. So sige, bigyan ka namin ng 1 month. After 1 month, if we like your showing, then we'll keep you. So ginawa yon. So nag 1 year ako. Tapos after that, nagpunta akong sa Great Taste. Dahil si Baby yata ang coach na noon.
Yes.
Yes.
Diba? So he got me, and then so I came in. So parang ganun din. Yung management sinabi, ano ka we're not sure about you. So ano ka lang, we'll just keep 1 month, we'll test. Tapos sabi, sige, but after 1 month, if you like to keep me, this will be our contract for the year, naman, like X percentage increase. Yun ang akin. Ako nakikinegotiate mismo. After 1 month, sabi sa akin, we can keep you, but we don't have the budget. Sabi sa akin, biglang, so we will not, yung what we shook hands about, hindi namin matutupad. So if you still want to play, term namin ganito. So, hindi ano yan, di ba, attorney yun, hindi maganda yung ganon. Siguro if I had you as my manager that time, may di ba? Ngayon, pirmahan na. Whatever yung usapan nyo, sulat natin ngayon, di ba? Dati wala, shake hands. Anyways, so tinanggap ko with a bitter pill in my taste in my mouth. So, nag 1 year ako. Right after that, biglang kinuha si Alan. Kay Dick, kinuha namin. It was that time we got him. And million ang in-offer sa kanya. Sabi, wala bang budget? Sasabihin niya sa akin, walang budget. Tapos kukunin niyo si Alan. Rookie, million. I mean, he's a superstar. Pero don't give me that. So, parang because of that, sabi, ayoko na. Diba? And what triggered it, sabi mo, you're in the limelight and all. I think what made it easy for me, sabi ko, was before I played in the PBA all years, without thinking monetary, financial. It was like I played, I enjoyed it, and the pay, rewards were just coming in. But that wasn't the be-all and end-all. Pero dito, in my last 2 years, parang kailangan ito na. Pera. So that's when I realized, mali na yon, di ba? I'm not enjoying it anymore. So sabi ko, I'm sorry, I actually took the exam sa AIM, and I passed it, di ba? So I want to retire. Nagalit yung management. Sabi, that's bridge of contract, yung 1 year. Wala nang guard Si Brown, umalis na. So ako na lang ang guard. So sabi, we will sue you if you leave. Sabi ko, okay. Then I will defer my IM. I will be in the team. I will honor my contract 1 year. Pero very upfront, sabi ko, but you will not get the A game from me. Sabi ko, you will not. I can sit, you can bench me, you pay me. Ganyan. So parehong talo kayo. Kasi ako, I'm willing to So they did not like that. How will they know if you're not, wala namang contract na, if you don't play your best game, we will cut your salary or we will suspend you without pay. Walang ganun I don't think so. Kasi they could have that. But it was easy for me to give excuses. Masama pakiramdam ko, ang pilay ako, I cannot play. So sabi ko na lang straight. I don't think, because I'm not happy, I think you'll get the A game from me. Ayun, they agreed. Sige, we'll release you. They talked to the PBA for them to be given a chance to get a replacement guard kahit tapos na yung cut-off. So that's how it was. Napaaga because of my knee. Otherwise, I was fit like a bull. I could still have played 2, 3, 4 years, no? Kasi cartilage tear lang naman yung akin
You retired before the age of, tama ba kayo? Tama ba yung math ko? Wala pa
28.
kayong 30?
Wala,
28?
29, oo.
Oo.
8 years. 29, oo.
Wow.
So I was at the peak. I was at the peak of my, some people are saying, oh, you, at least when you retired, ano ka pa, kilala ka as malakas pa. So, medyo ganon.
I remember they announced it pa during a game or something that Fritz Gaston is going to go to pursue his studies in the middle of a game. Parang the halftime of one of the games or something. They turned over something to you. Parang may ceremonias pa yun or something.
Well, I don't remember that turnover anymore. Pero ang nangyari doon, ginamit na lang ang agreement was gagamitin na lang nila ng marketing nila yon na, hey, meron ditong we have the trust fund and you can use it. And he's the first one that is going to use it properly na for schooling. Kasi before that, ang iba kukunin, di ba? Kasi ang daming pera no. Tapos mag-e-enroll. After 1 week, babawiin yung in-enroll. Tapos itatago na yung pera. Hindi talaga nag-e-enroll. Ako was the first one na nag-masters. In fact, tinanong ko pa, pwede ba sa abroad? Hindi. You can go to any school here. So I took the pinaka-toughest at that time in Asia, which is AIM. No? And that helped me shift careers. Kasi after that, I was already at a manager level na. Any company I joined, parang junior manager ka na agad. You're not starting as a supervisor even. No? So,
okay, thank you.
And eventually, you did fade away from basketball, and then you started a family also. Now, my question to you, Coach Fritz, is what's it like now having two very famous daughters? You are now the father of Teres and Ponggay. Hindi na yung Fritz Gaston, former player. Yung tatay ni Fritz ni Teres at saka ni Ponggay, oh. What's it like being that?
Well, mabuti na lang meron akong level of acceptance na reality na wala ka na, tapos ka na, it's your kids. Kasi nga, funny. When you were asking for pictures, so I went YouTube, I'd look Fritz Gaston. Walang lalabas na Fritz Gaston, lalabas doon. Father of Ponggay, Teres. So lahat ng pictures, lahat tungkol sa kanila, wala ako. So sabi ko, well, that's really a fact of life, no? So di ba? So, and it's nice as long as you know that ang akin diyan is they got portion of your personality, yung yung attitude, and then they build their own. But you see that, like I see them being fighters. So sabi ko, they're like me when I was like si Ponggay when she trains, no? And si Teres also. Siya very technical, yung isa naman very natural. See, but they had that attitude and then the discipline. So for me, that was important. And it carries over. Now that Teres, sadly, parang lost a big of her, nawala ba yung enthusiasm niya because of, sometimes when hindi maganda experience mo, then you lose it. So for her, parang, certain circumstances that. Pero, in her work, yung dedication nandun. Ponggay nga, when they train dito, during the COVID, grabe sila mag-training. They turned the house into a gym. Both of them, they would train together.
Well, it's great. It's great to know na the legacy is living on with the Gaston family, but this time in the daughters naman. We have a question that we ask everybody dito sa show na to, Coach Fritz, as we're nasa dulo na tayo, may hangganan din tong ating palabas yung eternity of basketball.
Very interesting.
Napasarap Pero napasarap yung kwentuhan natin. Who were your top 5 favorite teammates of all time? So you can start all the way from Ateneo if you want. Top 5 favorite teammates.
Okay. Na anybody, na top 5.
Anybody.
From Ateneo,
teammates
Tex,
mo, yeah. The ones you love to play with.
Okay. Well, definitely, hands down, it would be Boggs. Although we played one short lang, pero and we became buddies. Ni Boggs, we would go together. I'd go to his flat, and I even went with him to Bicol. Diba? And he's such a gentleman, tapos magaling even his work ethics. Plus, on the court, yun nga, parang nagkakaamuyan kami, nagkakakilalahanan kami, no? So to me, he would be in my top na player. That's one, no? 2 is si Philip Cesar. Si Philip, when he's at the grabe rin ng niyan because he magaling siyang pumasa, magaling siyang basta is one of the great great players, no? Si Philip, no? When he's at the top of his game. Of course, ang amin lang kontra doon kasi their lifestyle, sila kayang uminom, kayang magpuyat. And then, but the next day when he plays, he still plays at the top of his game. So, ayun naman what amazes me, no? Kasi yung bakit ganyan? Pero pagdating sa game, talagang top of their game. Pero apparently, you will see, they don't last like Jaworski. Diba? Jaworski at 50s, kaya pang maglaro. Very disciplined sa katawan niya, no? So, yung dalawa on my big forward na position. And siguro in my guard, although he's not pure Filipino, no, si Brown, Ricardo Brown was a good teammate. Kasi it's nice to practice with. Kasi pag diba, he's not a superstar. He knows he's a superstar, but he doesn't act superstar. So he's there, he does his business. I see him train on his own without and quiet. And then pagdating ng practice, no nonsense siya. No nonsense. Pero the bright side naman niya, pag yayayain ko yan mag-contest ng and then later on, siyang yayaya sa akin na, Fritz, shooting contest tayo, pustahan. And he knows, wala naman akong shooting, siya meron. Diba? Sabi niya, I'll give you 3 shots, my 1 shot. Yung mga gano'n. So, he would be a nice teammate to and I've guarded him, so it's difficult to guard, no? Although maliit siya, but in terms of scoring, magandang siya. Magandang teammate yan. So that's 3. And sino pa? Of course, si Steve was a nice teammate, Watson. We were teammates in UTEX, and we were friends. Aside from playing the PBA, we did a lot of things that make you parang forget the intensity and the stresses of basketball life. Kasi minsan every day, no, that takes its toll. So we would go out together aside from playing basketball. And of course, when we were teammates in Ateneo, grabe naman, dead shot. Kung tumira siya before in Ateneo, you go to him, you got 70-80% chance of a point from him. So yun, easily top of mind yun, yung 4 na yun.
Final one.
So,
sana lang.
Well, hindi ako makaisip ng siguro ang isa pa na I would want pero hindi na siya forward or what kasi marami talagang magagaling, di ba? Si Francis, I like him. Ako, I'm choosing because of my difficulty in guarding them. Yun ang akin doon eh. If I have difficulty guarding a player, then for me that hands down ako sa player na yon, na kasi kung like let's say favorite kung import ay si Bates ang masarap na kasama, di ba? Di ba? Maliit siya at 6'3".
Sigurado.
Di ba? But he plays like he's really a black Superman because I've guarded him before. Yung literally sumakay ka, di ba? Pagdaan niya, sinakyan ko, humawak ako. Alam mo, parang hindi niya naramdaman, ha? Tuloy-tuloy yung layup niya. Literally, he could drag you up in the air and still dunk that ball. Kaya he was really a superstar in the NBA also. Kaya lang he's not. Yes, yung attitude niya ang problema. Kaya, di ba, he gets into brawls, he gets into problems. So, I guess he would be one. And basta kasama yung mga imports, di ba? Oo. So, yun ang aking doon.
For someone who you said you can't shoot the ball well, you actually shot better than 50% for your PBA career.
Yes.
And but
I didn't know that.
But you
Really?
only made 1 3-point shot in your PBA career. 1 out of 7.
I was able to do that.
Yeah.
I think that was attorney. That was before I retired. I think kasi doon lang nagsimula yung 3 points, di ba?
1 out of 7. I researched it. I saw it in my old annual. 1 out of 7 ang career 3 points mo. But you made 1.
Wow. I can now at least say na nakashoot. I didn't even know that. And now that you told me that, siguro I didn't care hoots, no? Nasabi ko, shoot din ako ng 3 points and probably wala na yung game. That was out of range.
Coach
Kaya
Fritz,
sinut ko na.
before we let you go, Coach Fritz,
Ah,
I know you want to have dinner with your family also.
yeah.
Is
Oo.
there anybody you would like to say thank you to for your journey? It was a short journey in the pros, pero mahaba in Ateneo, and then your entire sports career. Now that you've retired in practically everything, are there people you would like to thank for your
Well,
journey?
people, no? Kasi otherwise, I would, well, one is thank God for having given me this ano. Kasi yan pala, no, I forget to say, no, when you have that, the talent, it's God-given, nandyan sa'yo yan eh, even from day one. Like, I remember kasi, I was a frustrated musician. My younger brother wanted to become a player like me. He was looking up to me. So we would practice together. UST rin siya eh. But siya could not learn basketball. He just did not have basketball sense. And you know, as growing kids, ako naman wanted to play, so we played the piano together. Hindi ako makaalis-alis sa first page ng piano. You know, as kids, di ba?
Mhm.
Siya, after a few months, nagpa-piano na ng mga piece. So, and then the same thing. So talagang if it's with you, kaya nga sabi ko, and I have brothers who's a painter, excellent painter,
Mhm. Yeah.
portrait painter. No, I have a brother who's a singer.
Yeah.
So when people ask me, I think I'm the only what do you call this artist in the wrong field. I'm the artist in the wrong field, which is sports. No, so yun. One is I think one that I have this God-given talent. No, and two is I guess the Dr. Rivera was the one that made me stay longest. Kasi with my knee injury, it became like chronic. Eh. You know, every other year I would undergo surgery. Again, no, not very many people knew. I think I was with you, Tex, between a semifinals and a finals, we went in na nga, I remember. So we had like 5 days rest or 1 week waiting for our opponent. I had the knee surgery, arthroscopic.
Wow.
And it was Rivera that did that kasi naglalaki. O in my case, so sabi niya, Fritz, bago na ngayon, arthroscopy na. What would take na opening your knee, that will take you months to recover. Ito, bubutasin, outpatient ka. The next day, you're in crutches. Third day, you're running. Kasi wala nang invasive surgery, walang masyadong cut.
Mhm.
So lilunisin. So I played the championship after 5 days and no one knew this. Not even Tommy. Kasi sabi ko, hindi naman maganda ito. Pagdating sa practice, sabi ko, Tommy, coach, pahinga ako. Then I sprained my knee. Na, okay, the next day, jogging na, pahinga pa rin. And then just before the championship, I played. So I think he, as a doctor, sa key, which is now very important that carried over for me, is to have a coach that would take care of the players. For the of the players, the health of the players, rather than, hey, maglaro kayo because I need you to play. So I would be thankful to the coach that I was under that gave me that philosophy and that I got from them. Diba? Kasi marami nga rin iba na sabi, hindi. No? So hindi ko take yan. Pero parang sponge. No? Ayun. So those are the ones that I would really be thankful for helping me get to where I am. And yung si Coach Bongo, that was a stickler on basketball because he knew basketball. So ako became also John Wooden. So when I coach, ako John Wooden disciple ako because he was the one that introduced me to him. I didn't know the guy. Kasi sabi niya, ito, John Wooden to, gano'n. So nung team ko, sabi ko, bawal ang maduming kamay, bawal ang mahabang buhok. I followed that. Even in the national team, yung women's that I handled, hindi kayo pwedeng maglalakad dyan na parang lalaki. So yun ang mga important things that I got that I carry over even in life. No, you represent the country, you represent the team or the company. You have to look presentable, diba? Because you represent them. Yun ang akin doon. So those are the things, those are the people that I would be grateful to for making me who I am now. No, aside from getting in the PBA and then also in the national team, etc. But life after that.
Thank you very much, Coach Fritz, for sharing your incredible journey with us dito. I mean, it's been a pleasure, actually, really, listening to all of these stories. I've known Coach Fritz for so many years, but some of these stories, the first time ko lang naririnig from you, Coach Fritz. Thank you for sharing with us.
In fact, some nga probably hindi dapat, but ako, all the best to your show. Attorney
Thank
Charlie, Jake, and Vic, and Noel, no? For this, I know you conceptualize this, and it is good, especially at this time, no? Kaya nga sabi ko na, I have all the time to watch all your episodes. Kaya tinanong ko,
Yes, please do,
nandiyan
please
pa ba
do.
yun? Ha?
Please
Yeah,
do.
please do. Go ahead.
Oo nga. No, I
Yeah,
go.
I
Kasi
watch them all.
when my friends were asking, sabi ko, you go to Facebook. Saan doon? So, tinanap ko, kayong tatlo, no? Ayun. Tapos then I saw watch videos. So, nakita ko episode 25, ganyan. So, but I still didn't get a chance to see it. So, this was just the other day when my friend was asking. Sabi, it's a nice, and I hopefully, you have the blessings of kahit na medyo relax na yung COVID. This becomes part of the new normal where you have this, yung mga Zoom, di ba? And you have this show. And I think, Sid, you and Noel, magandang concept na, sabi nga nila, laos ka na. Yeah, it's just our memory lane lang. We go back because this could be a basis for our youth. Di ba? It's when they see this and they say, ay, ganyan pala dati. They pick up, di ba? They pick up these things na hindi nila alam, ganun pa lang ng ano mo.
Walang coach, walang laos-laos sa show na to.
Walang laos. Wala.
Pag nandito ka sa show na to, sikat ka.
Yes.
Alamat ka. Alamat.
As the father. Sikat mo as the father. Anyway, sige. All right.
Thanks so
very
much,
Coach Fritz.
Thank you.
And on behalf
Thank
of
you
us,
also for inviting me, and I hope we had the fans and your viewers will enjoy this episode.
Yeah. And you can watch it back right after we end here. That's all the time we have dito sa ating palabas, An Eternity of Basketball for Sid Ventura and Attorney Charlie Cuna. Kung po si Noel Zarate, paalam, this coming Tuesday, meron po tayong special guest, dating import naman ng PBA ulit. I think this is our third import or fourth import that we're having here, guys?
Third.
Third import already that we're having. He's been interviewed many times before, but he hasn't been interviewed the Eternity of Basketball way. We're going to have Sean Chambers as our special guest this coming Tuesday. Yeah. And that's going to be a big episode.
Guy.
Yeah, excellent
Yes,
guest
excellent
as well.
guy.
I said 8 o'clock, Charlie, or 9 o'clock?
I think it's 9 a.m. on Tuesday.
9 a.m. on Tuesday.
We will confirm on the AEOB page. So please.
Yes, all right. Basta
Iba-iba time nyo. Iba-iba time?
Nasa Amerika kasi.
Nasa Amerika kasi.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So on
see you
behalf,
guys.
on behalf of everybody, thank you very much, Coach Fritz. Join us again this Tuesday for another edition of An Eternity of Basketball. Magandang gabi po sa lahat.
Yeah.
Salamat.
Thank you.
Salamat.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Salamat.